I think we're live. Nothing was working today. YouTube or OBS changed their system today. But we should be live, hopefully. There we go. Man, what the heck happened? Technology, man. I thought I was going to start a little bit earlier today, but nope. God, dog. What the heck, man? Looks like we are live. Some of the settings were jacked up. Yeah, why they messed my settings up? I'll fix it later, man. Jesus Christ. Who messed my settings up? Probably YouTube. YouTube be messing everything up. Anyway, guys, we live for White Belt Wednesday. Stream. Let's just watch a match to start off. Get right into it. We got Adele versus Jasmine Hosha. I thought there was some rivalry here, but I mean, if you watch their skits, they might just be friends after all. They're pretty similar, both the same height, same weight. They're a little bit bigger than I thought they were. 132 at 5'3". They strong. They some strong girls. 25 and 23. I thought Adele was younger. Well, I'm older too, though. So let's get into it.
Right out the window because Jasmine Hosha believes in herself in this rematch, Sean.
We'll walk you through it too. I'll turn that audio down. Let's see. Adele's wearing a daddy rash guard.
Of the show, Sean, about the mental
goes to pull guard.
Side of grappling, not just the physical side of it. Hosha has talked about that. She won the ADCC trials, West Coast. So it is about the better grappling. It's about who wants it most.
A little bit of De La Hiva.
She wants it more tonight.
Talk about the jiu-jitsu, guys. So she's using like an underhook De La Hiva here. If you guys watched the video, I did it on Adele. She's really good at this De La Hiva. She's good everywhere. She's good leg locks, arm locks. Don't let her grab you. So here she's got the underhook De La Hiva, and kind of like almost like a bolo kind of setup that we would use to break someone's posture. Get the knee downward. Good way to take the back.
She thinks she wants it more
so
tonight.
She's downward.
Adele just don't
she
blame
pull into 50-50.
She can get into submissions from
nice
almost
back take,
and they can come very, very fast.
Adele doesn't have the best bolo crab ride game, but she's still good. She's gonna grab them feet.
She did an ADCC
cross ankle lock.
Slow start of
nice. We've been working this at Max.
Yeah, that's gonna be on as an Aoki lock here. That's on. She's got to push away with her.
So that's not an Aoki lock.
Wait on that, does Jasmine.
Who's over here? Who's over here commentating over here? That ain't no Aoki lock. That's the Wojcik lock.
The slow start of.
So she just pulls it across. We've been working this too. Adele was a little bit off on that ankle lock, though. She's a little bit off on that one. I think she does get it later. You can get a pop on there, but you kind of need it a little bit higher up on the rib cage.
That's on. She's got to push away with her other foot.
So some of the guys can finish here. They just tap you out.
Get up, put some weight into
So me and Evan were working this yesterday.
Your other foot to push it away.
Yeah, it wasn't on. Jasmine should have just got up. Well, it's hard to pass Adele's guard. But you're not going to beat Adele playing double guard position. Even Misa, Bastos didn't really do much from there. You got to play kind of like a Fion, pressure in, knee cut, chest to chest. You're going to have to take it to Adele because you're letting her do the same setup. So you can't lead with the same leg. You gotta switch your legs up, pass right side. Adele doing the same move.
Same entry here.
Yeah, same entry.
Just so smooth, working both sides.
And I don't know. Jasmine was leaving those legs out today. It's crazy. Jasmine don't grapple like her brother or her dad. When that style probably would work really well.
Pummel her left leg in.
A little bit of De La Hiva here.
On the outside with the right leg, excuse me. She's on the outside there. So.
A deep De La Hiva, which we don't really see too much. You see that how that foot's going all the way across. You don't really see that too much in Nogi.
Jasmine Hosha, you said it. She wants a dog fight tonight. Make it about everything.
Jasmine's tough, but she don't fight like she tough. The girls fight different than the guys, though. Again, she's passing. She's leading with that left leg, which is just terrible.
footlock again.
She's leading with that left leg. I don't know what she's trying to do here. I mean, if you study Adele, you know not to lead with your left leg. She does. Well, watch my video. Yo, Jasmine, watch my video next time.
Going here.
She just leaves that left leg out there. I guess I don't know.
There we go. She left her
Let Adele get another good bite on it.
Footlock again.
Yep. Come up and get weight on that.
She's hand fighting, but Adele she'd be pulling on those ankles.
There she does.
And then spoiler alert, it's a very similar position.
So if she can pull the knee up, that inside knee, stand up and put weight on her foot, she'll start.
I wonder if she doesn't really go for Z-lock. She likes the Aoki.
Sure, she's well aware. She may even try to pull this arm in for an arm lock, but
I feel like Jasmine could maybe.
There is a 50-50 arm lock.
There is a heel hook. Shut up about the 50-50 arm lock. Nobody does that in nogi. Maybe she could go for the leg, Adele's legs.
Back to the straight footlock position again.
Yeah, she's just letting Adele dominate this match. Josiah, what's up, bro? Says Adele, daddy, yeah. Well, Adele beat her before. Adele beat her at the last ADCC pretty handily. And she just, that ankle was getting pulled on.
Push on that foot. Good.
I wonder why Adele gave up on that. I guess she felt like she wasn't going to get it there. She probably could have if she stayed on it. She let go of that, so I don't know. Jasmine, that ankle looking a little swollen. Okay, Adele's tagging the other side.
Guard position.
Josiah says, "Sup, dog." Rewatch Gianni's his fight. His FFIG. What is that?
As we said in the ADCC, she kind of took advantage of the slow start.
Rewatch Gianni's fight and Eddie lost. Yeah. We'll look at it once they post it.
As we said in the ADCC, she kind of took advantage of the slow start.
So Jasmine's going for her own leg lock. As far as I know, Adele's never been tapped with the leg lock, so I don't know why she's thinking she's going to get the leg lock. If you want to beat Adele, get on her back. Misa showed that. Get on her back. Fionn showed that. Get on her back. Pass. You're not gonna tap her with these leg locks.
She's going hard on that foot.
Nice. Well, actually, that was kind of tight. Yeah. Okay. Her foot got out of there though. So my thing is, these girls don't tap the submissions really. You be watching the girls get arm broke, foot broke, knee broke. Man, these girls don't tap. He says, one day I'm going to defeat Gianni. You'll see. I mean, maybe when he gets really old, but probably not no time soon. Gianni's still good, man. He just gotta stop going for ecological. So Adele's going for the foot here. Jasmine's going for the foot here. And then it's hard to see, but Adele had her knees inside. So look, she's going for the leg, but you see how Adele pries open her legs and gets her knee in?
She's going hard on that.
So she gets both legs in here. She's safe. Now she's going for the ankle lock here. And it's almost like a Kaio lock. She gets both legs going outside. So as far as I know, there's no escape at that point. So there, yeah.
Both now in a little footlock battle.
Here. When she goes belly down. And that leg had been torn. Adele been gnawing on that foot for a while, so.
It went right at the ankle injury.
Adele's so nice. She'd tear you apart, and she's like, "Are you okay?" That was a nice one.
Need a replay of it, but.
I didn't see because I was watching.
Wagner, go to your daughter. Go help your daughter out, Wagner.
I didn't see. I just saw.
Wagner, go help your daughter.
Out, but I did not see.
Wagner is not happy.
Left knee.
Yeah, it's probably the knee more when they start to turn.
That was not. Yeah, we know it was nice. Jasmine's didn't do any research.
In that leg lock position.
As you said, it's hard to do research. Yeah, I don't want to listen to announcers. It's hard to do research when you're doing when you're doing like a tournament format. You just gotta hope you know the people a little bit. Sometimes you're gonna fight someone you don't know. But if you're doing the pro division, you should study your opponent pretty well. He says, I'll beat Gianni one day. I train in martial arts longer than him. Yeah, but, Gianni good, man. That's a good match. Adele had that, man. Let's be honest. Adele had that. Adele, she on top of her game. She training hard. She's training with a lot of girls at Atos. Maybe Jasmine should try and do that. Because her dad, she don't have the style of her dad and her brother. She got more of a not traditional jiu-jitsu, but she fighting like a tournament jiu-jitsu competitor, But that was a good match, I like the girls' matches. That was very, very highly technical.
Helps putting a little bit less pressure on yourself. Again, wanting to win, not needing to win. But if you need to win, then you're not thinking about performing. You're thinking about just doing what you can to win rather than what you can to perform. And if I go in there and I perform the best I possibly could, but still lose, that's fine. As long as I know that I've competed to the best of my ability, then it's okay. And make competition day as familiar as possible. So make it very similar to a normal day. It's nothing special. Trying to make it more like a sparring session, then I think that helps putting a little bit less pressure on yourself. Again, wanting to win, not needing to win. But if you need to win, then you're not thinking about performing. You're thinking about just doing what you can to win rather than what you can to perform.
That's good advice, shoot, just do what you can, Says Gianni's good, I'm better. Well, go prove it then. Go prove it. That's the beauty of this art form. You can go prove it. Talk is cheap out here, man. Moneyberg be talking all day. But you go prove it. Go win some tournaments. Go do what you can do. Let's see. We've been talking about Ffion. Why is everybody talking about Ffion? Let's just listen to what Homeboy's got to say.
Lately, so I figured I'd give my 2 cents. Not that it matters, but Ffion Davies named head coach of luxury £230 a month academy in London. 230 pounds, about a little over $300 a month, US dollars, which is expensive. I get it. But this gym apparently has a lot to offer: strength and conditioning gym, full scale strength and conditioning gym, cold plunges, saunas, all that stuff. You got to ask yourself, are you wanting to pay for that? Is that what you need? One stop thing, jiu-jitsu, gym, got it. That's your thing. If you can afford it, great. And they are going to have to charge a decent amount if they have all these people. Ffion Davies isn't the only one. There's a lot of other high-level people in there coaching. Now, this comment suggests that they're only teaching once a week or once a month, some of these high-level athletes, that's fine. What'd you expect? They're still competing. They're still doing seminars. They're still active in jiu-jitsu competition. So why would you think they're going to be there every day? They're not going to do that. Now, these other people like gym owners are bashing the gym. Not a good look on the gym's part. Bashing it like, yeah, you charge less, but why? People are going to start asking that question, so be careful. All right, I've been seeing this article pop up a lot lately, so I figured I'd give my 2 cents.
People quick to jump on Ffion, but, the Alliance School in London, €280, €270, Some of the other schools, I think Los Bandidos, €180. So they got the facilities, they got the instructors. Man, they can charge whatever they want to charge. They can always drop the prices or whatever. That's for. Ffion worth that. What by herself, she worth that price. Not saying no Diddy, but her instruction and being able to train with her in the facilities. That's kind of worth it. And if you can't afford it, just do the drop in. Drop in, do a class here or there. Especially my ladies, go drop in over there with Ffion. Who else over there in London better than Ffion? More accomplished than Ffion? I can't think of anybody. And for the ladies, I'm sure Hodger Gracie's got to be €200. And some of these other places, €200 for nothing. Places here in America, people be charging $200 for nothing. Have you wearing some ugly gi and no gi stuff? Be charging $200 for nothing, bro. So you getting a good instructor, and they seem to invest in their instructors. They're gonna have like Ffion there, Nia, Agan. I think Tommy and Tariq will be up there too. So man, go check it out. So it says everything is more expensive in London, especially in the affluent areas. It is in line with that for sure. Like you say, if you can't afford it, why not? People in London pay €16 for a cocktail. Yeah, well, they do it here in America too. London is really expensive, but most cities have high-end regular gyms where they charge $600 plus a month. This is to attract millionaires and celebrities who don't want to train with the poor people. Basically, Moneybird, yeah. Our taxpayers, as we like to call ourselves. There's plenty of places in the USA that are more expensive. Just check the Upper East Side and other areas of Manhattan where rent is super high. $306 for London doesn't sound super outrageous to me. I was paying more than that in NYC, and the instructor wasn't a celebrity competitor. Someone says, I pay over $230 a month. My academy also is a wellness center, has everything. Training with a world-class champion or world champion 4 times a month for $300. And more than that, she's going to be teaching a lot of classes, probably 10, 15, 20 maybe. Most seminars cost that, and the likelihood of you rolling with them is slim. Not only that, but you'll get continuous technique, not just 2 hours of highlights. Marcelo Garcia NYC is something like $250, $300. And Marcelo's not there. You ain't rolling with Marcelo for that $200, $250. You ain't rolling with the Mendez brothers with that $200, $250. You ain't rolling with Andre Galvao with that $200, $250. Danny Chop, what's up? Happy White Belt Wednesday. I forgot. It's White Belt Wednesday, guys. Make sure you go help out a white belt. Go adopt a white belt today. Help them tie their belt. Help them shrimp. Help them roll. Help them not get dropped on their head today on White Belt Wednesday. Says, I understand charging that much for a bare bones gym, but that is a lot of amenities to be fair. Yeah, you could basically just work there. Work from home over there. Says the recovery stuff really is worth it. The extra cost if you can afford it. UK is different from America, I guess. It's a good facility. Shoot. Yeah. It's a good facility. You got high world-class instructors. I mean, if you got the money, go for it. If you don't got the money, find something in your budget, I mean, I can't afford it. I'll just pay the drop-in fee. I'm just gonna. Josiah says, dog, Marcelo Garcia got to compete again. He did. He fought Imanari. I don't know why he was fighting Imanari. That made no sense. He might do one of them old man roles. Let's see him versus Shaolin. I think that might be a cool match. Shaolin. You can maybe let's get Jacare back on there. The MMA Jacare. Maybe even Hodger. Let's get the master circuit going. I want to see these old dudes rolling. I can't restart my capture. What happened over here? Oh, I don't know if it's still. My screen got jacked up, guys. I messed up. We'll see. Well, Fion's super worth it, The gym's really nice. We looked at it earlier. I don't know if we can find it again.
I used to be very animated, passionate, coming from a place of caring, but I've been known to be shouting at referees and all this stuff. I'm not above that now, don't get me wrong. I basically never get hyped up at my student. I've tried, and that's kind of how I was coached basketball, like punishment system in place. You do something wrong, you get benched, you get shouted at, you get balled out. I've seen almost no return on investment when I do that. Like, I'm getting psyched up and mad or whatever, and all it's doing is making them perform worse. So like, who's this for then? Is it just some show I'm putting on? So especially with the kids, everything is good job. Like, now's not the time to correct anything. And even if I could correct it, like, an addition of a positive rather than a remove of a negative will give me a better return on investment. I see your brain trying to calculate that. Good for you, Mac. I used to be very animated, passionate, coming from a place of caring, but I've been known to be shouting at referees and all this stuff. I'm not above.
Yeah, so you do want your. Josiah says Marcelo Garcia versus Gianni. Marcelo. I'm going Marcelo versus everybody, even Mika Galvao. You want your coach to go to war with you, You want them to be honest with you. You want them to, if you lose, your coach be like, all right, man, we got a lot to work on. Or if you, saying you getting screwed by the referee, you want your coach to be on your, fighting for you. See, a lot of emotions. Coaching tough, man. Coaching tough. Not only is it, coaching, it's so much that goes into it. I think people underestimate it. You got to develop your curriculum, get the school up and running. You got to manage people, manage the instructors, manage the students, manage the kids, manage the wives, manage the you got to troubleshoot. You got J-Rod gooning in the background over there. You got to fight ringworm. People over here trying to bring infections to your gym. People want you to go coach them at the tournament. You're not getting paid to go to that tournament. You got to pay for your own self to get to the tournament. They want you to fly to Vegas and coach them at Masters Worlds and, wherever else, Euros. You got to pay for that. You got to stay in shape and stay sharp. You got to keep teaching and helping the new people, help the advanced people, help the intermediate people. I don't like that person. They don't like you. So there's a lot that goes into coaching. So, don't underestimate it. Danny Choppa says, pretty sure I went against a Marcelo brown belt at IBJF. Homie armbarred me in seconds. It's rough. It's rough, man. It happens. Brown belt for real, man. Brown belt for real. Moneyberg didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing at any belt. You just got to get back out there, man. That's my coaching advice. All right, man, let's avoid that move next time, and let's get back out there for the next IBJJF. You got it in November. You got that jersey open in November. It happens, bro. I've been armbarred in early in the match, too. You just got to get back up there. Get back out there. Look at Gianni. He's talking about getting back out there too. Says, who's number one reflection? Where's Josiah at? As many are probably aware, I lost my Who's Number One debut on Friday night against a very talented opponent in Max Hansen by ref decision. While I strongly disagree with the outcome, I must first I got to watch the match to let you guys know. I must first take ownership of this and understand what I could have done to either get to the submission or at least have made it an easier decision for the judges. While I believe I did enough to earn the win, the simple fact is I still need to do better. Everybody got to do better, bro. Thank you to my coach and friend, Kevon. I don't know if your coach should be your friend, but, whatever, man, whatever. For the guidance and unwavering support. Is Kevon giving guidance? Thank you for my opponent for being a gamer and accepting the match. So Gianni was supposed to fight Owen Jones. I don't know if Gianni was going to beat Owen Jones. He couldn't beat Max Hansen. I don't know if he was going to beat Owen Jones. Although Max Hansen is bigger than I think he's bigger than both of these guys. Yeah, Max Hansen, big guy. He'd be doing 77. He says, thank you for my opponent for being a gamer and accepting the match. I'm sure we'll see each other more down the road soon. My man want that rematch. Run it back. Now we can just look forward, as always, on to the next. There you go. Says, I've been avoiding arm bars like the plague ever since. Yeah, well, sometimes you can't avoid the arm bar. Sometimes the setup's good. What was the setup? Someone says, only sweep of the match and loses when it was similar passing from both guys. Bad decision. Well, it's a submission-based tournament. I have to watch the match before I can comment on it. We got another person that took a loss. Fat Ninja, that's his handle. I'm not calling him fat, but that's his handle. He says, first of all, I want to thank God for all these blessings in my life. To my wife, thank you for always being by my side through every high and low. Thank you, Flow Grappling, and my opponent for making this match happen. To everyone who was cheering for me, felt your energy, and it truly meant a lot. And at last but not least, thank you for to my team for the constant support. So he should not have been fighting this guy. He fought like the biggest dude out there. He fought the biggest dude. It made no sense why he was fighting that guy. Can't play that music. Yeah, he fought like he shouldn't have been fighting this dude. He just he just got his black belt a couple years ago. He was doing MMA. that was not a good matchup for him. So guys, not every match is for you. You know, you think it's a good match, and that Roosevelt guy is good. ADCC experience. I believe he won worlds this year at black belt. Man, that was not the right match for this kid to be having for his Who's Number One debut.
Try to get me in a room, yeah. Everybody wanna talk. I was coming with it too. Something I already knew. Yeah. Been through joke blocks. What we saying is a fluke. Down, no Holy Ghost.
That's Wojcik. He is locked in at 88 kg for B team. He's known as one of the best leg lockers on the planet. Is he one of the best leg lockers on the planet? I think that's a big claim. I don't know if you can consider him one of the best leg lockers. Oh, maybe you can. I mean, that list probably fluctuates based off the year. I think Pato's one of the best leg lockers. Maybe Wojcik. I'm trying to think of some other really great leg lockers. We don't have no more Eddie Cummings guys out there anymore. Szynski maybe. Yeah, there's not really too many leg lockers anymore. Isn't that crazy? There's no real leg lockers anymore. I mean, Craig don't really go for leg locks like he used to. Gordon don't really go for leg locks. Lackland's basically retired. Eddie retired. Eddie Bravo retired. Eddie Cummings and Eddie Bravo retired. So I guess, yeah, there's only 2 or 3 leg lock dudes out there.
Wait to the football grab until her head is low. Good. Stuff. Left hand. Circle. Good. Good. Breathe, Lisa. It's okay to put a knee on the mat, Randy. You try and come up sometimes. Good little shrug pulls. Elbows in. Good. Keep some weight over her back a little more. Good. Whizzer, wrist. Wait to the football grab until her head is low. Good. Stuff. Left hand. Circle. Good. Good. Breathe, Lisa. It's okay to put a knee on the mat, Randy. You try and come up sometimes. Good little shrug pulls. Elbows in. Good. Keep some weight over her back a little more. Good.
So this is J-Flow. He says, go-behinds aren't just a wrestling move. They are one of the most essential tools in grappling. Whether you're using them offensively to secure a takedown or defensively to counter and escape, they create opportunities. That is true. Those go-behinds are really great. And shut down threats in one motion. So that's pretty awesome. Those go-behinds, we talk about wrestling. Bro, most of the guys that win the Olympics do a go-behind. So, yeah, don't underestimate that. Oh, Victoria, what happened to the sound? This is Victoria showing a very nice the inside leg trip. Yeah, very nice move. Is it off the underhook? It's off the overhook. Okay, well, underhook, yeah, nice. Very good move. There's something weird going on in jiu-jitsu. I don't know if they're planning it, but like you see where all the guys, Jasmine, Hosha, and Adele were doing this where they come together to make the skits, and now you got Canuto and Tackett kind of working together to make the skit. I don't really enjoy that stuff. Maybe you guys like it. I don't really know. Do you guys like that kind of stuff? I feel like if you're getting ready for your match, I understand you got to sell the match, but I just, that's too much for me. That's too buddy, especially when you got to fight. There's a lot of money on the line, I understand, most of these guys are cool with each other, but that seems to be what's happening now. Everybody's got to get in on the marketing. It's all about marketing now. It's all about entertainment. Maybe we just got to accept that. That's just the way the sport is going. It's WWE. I don't know if you guys have been watching like not pro wrestling, but UFC is basically they're all trash talking, and it's very very needy. I need attention. Look at me. Kind of marketing. It's not like cool marketing like back in the day, where there was real beef or, I don't know, man. It's just Danny Chopper says it's pretty cringe marketing. I'm going to be honest. I'm 2 years away from being 30 though, so I have no idea if that's marketing made towards me. Maybe not. Maybe it's not towards us, but we'll watch it again. I'm going to just not have the audio on there. Honestly, he's over there drugging some person's drink. That's kind of cringe. That's some bad taste too. That's in bad taste as well. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. So you just committed a crime right there on camera. So yeah, I understand. It's just. Can we get some professional help in this sport? MMA need professional help too. They have Dana White. He be yelling at the camera. He had no microphone on. He yelling at the phone. Hello, UFC, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to give some free tickets. Ain't no microphone, echo. His audio sound worse than mine. He got $500 million. He can't get no microphone. Can't get no camera guy. You can't get no camera guy to set something up for you, Dana White. Little microphone right there. I know he ain't editing it, nothing. Dana White got $500 million net worth. He can't get no microphone, no good camera, nothing to market his multi-million-dollar event. So when Dana White not really putting no effort in, why should anybody else put any effort in? So it's pretty sad, actually. Danny Chopper says, also, you are 100% correct on UFC. I did catch the one UFC fight night the other day, but only the co-main event. Yeah. They already squeezed all the profit out of the UFC. They already squeezed. Oh, the fighters don't get nothing. They get some chump change. They generate all the wealth for sure. They generate all the money for the UFC. Says it helped that it was starting around noon, but honestly, I have been turned away from UFC. I got to turn off the audio half the time I watch fights, or I just ignore the media. Yeah, I don't know. The fighters are still good. The fighters are, they better than they ever been, really, physically. It's just low effort by UFC, and a lot of these organizations, they don't really sell the people as much. You got to sell yourself if you're on the UFC. You promote yourself, man. Don't rely on the UFC to promote you. You got to make your own content. Honestly, you got to make yourself bigger than the UFC. That's the only way you're going to get anything to happen. If you leave it to the UFC, look at Buchecha. You lose, they ready to kick you out of there. If Buchecha lose one more time, they're going to kick him out of there. So you got to make yourself irreplaceable, and just be out for yourself, man. Don't be clowning around for the UFC. They ain't going to take care of you. I saw a post, I don't know if it was true, but maybe we'll find it. BJ Penn was basically asking the UFC for help. Let's see if we can find that. Let me zoom in so you guys. Hey, I'm going big mode so you guys can't see me looking for stuff. BJ Penn. Let me grab some water. Oh, there it is right there. And man, these guys kill themselves for the UFC. They done left their brain matter on the mat, on the floor. Blood, they spill blood. tears, sweat, spinal fluid. The UFC don't care about none of these people. These dudes done made UFC millions and billions of dollars. UFC don't care about none of these people. These fighters over here suffering. That's the honest truth. It's sad too. These fighters really suffering. The older fighters, the younger fighters, they might be okay, but the older fighters back in the day. We're gonna read some comments too. Don't worry. Oh shoot. Okay, let's listen to BJ Penn real fast.
Help. I've been pushed out. This is the house I grew up in, lived here my whole life. Fought in the UFC, became a world champion and all that stuff. And Mark Mashtroff, UFC gyms. I know we do really well to help promote the UFC gym companies. And just, that's it. That's the house right there. Show them again, the house I grew up with. I'm kicked out of the house. An army moved into all of these houses. I need your guys' help. They got me staying over here in this studio. Right here, if I go anywhere near the house up there, I try to get my dogs, get whatever I can. I'll be arrested. They got me over here staying in this studio. And just think about it. No one's here to help me. And, if any of my sponsors out there that, I stayed extra long or I did anything, because I always know if I was going to do a signing, I never leave early. I always stay, even if I got to stay longer. But they got me staying in this studio right over here. They want me to do my laundry at the laundromat. And I'm the world champion. I'm the one who went out there and took the punches, took the blows. And here we are, getting pushed out of everything, about to have everything stolen from us. All the money I made from the UFC gyms, all my sponsors, all invested back into my family, into everything. Every dollar I made invested back in. I'm about to get it all taken from me. And I need your guys' help. Dana White, Lorenzo Fertitta, Pat Tenori, come down this time and help this time, please. That's it. That's all I got to say.
So, he's going through it, man. Some of it's drug fueled, and a lot of that's brain damage, though. Let's be honest here. And you know what? Dana White sleeps pretty well. He ain't got no conscience. That's why. He ain't got no conscience. He says, why not direct call him? Why you think they stopped taking his messages? A couple comments over here. I don't know if you guys can see. Jesus Christ. Let me refresh this guy. Nope. Come on, man. That's not what I wanted. I'm just going to stay like this. It says UFC has been around long enough to start seeing the negative long-term effect of on the brain after a fighter has taken damage over the years. We will see more and more of the negative effects that these fighters will face in the next 10 years plus. BJ is now dealing with his own brain damage, and it doesn't seem like he is getting the help he needs. So be on the lookout for the UFC to take another lawsuit. I mean, they be taking lawsuits. They be taking a lot of lawsuits, but they don't care. Says, these old guys who were out there in wars we don't see anymore. Very few fighters are handled like these old rock'em sock'em guys. I don't think the new guys will see this bad of effect. Also, most of these guys are on some on some supplements. I don't know what else to say for that. Some I don't know, some dust. Not just the ones who took a beating. You can see the it says he might suffer from CTE slightly. It's not that bad. Are you sure? He's not slurring his words. That's not just one side effect of CTE. Says fighters don't train the same anymore. A huge majority of the head trauma is from training. They used to hard spar daily. on top of him picking fights in bars and slamming his head on cement after getting knocked out. Substance abuse is also a major culprit. So a lot of times those guys be self-medicating because they're going through pain and, whatever the underlying issues are. They try to self-medicate and then, okay, boom, addiction. It says BJ Penn is currently not allowed back at the home he shares with his mother due to a temporary restraining order issued by the Hawaii Family Court. It's in effect till November 23rd, 2025. Says the mother filed for protection due to alleged abuse and delusional behavior. So for reference, his mom's like 80 years old. And BJ Penn's like, you're not my mom. So I think with that disorder, it's called Capgras. They can't recognize aging. So he's thinking of his mom as she used to be, 40 years ago. She's 80 years old. Of course she don't look the same. Repeated violations and legal consequences. He's been arrested multiple times for the alleged abuse and later for failing to comply with court orders. So I'm just hoping he gets some help. Someone said he's wearing the Tenor hat, shorts, and T-shirt, walking billboard. If you guys don't know Tenor, he's the guy that used to own Ruka. Basically started AOJ and got the Rutulo twins up and running. So, man, it's pretty awesome when you got a rich friend like that. I need some rich friends like that. No, Diddy. Moneyberg's my rich friend. Moneyberg. Nah, you gotta say no to Moneyberg, people. Say no to Moneyberg. Say no to Dana White and Moneyberg. It's a pretty terrible situation with BJ Penn there.
Kick a soccer ball. Kick with that foot. Nice. Okay, stand up. Look. Turn your toes towards me.
So if you guys don't know, this is Helen Morales. She over here, she won the Olympics 2016. So she over here helping a 4-year-old. Even Olympic champions struggle when teaching the kids. So let's watch her struggle a little bit.
Beautiful. Now watch it. See this hook right there? There you go. Now see your hands? Put them on your knees. No? What? Lift your hands. Now turn towards me. Yeah, now you shake hands. Go. You gotta get the pin. You gotta get the pin. You gotta get the pin. Psych, I'll never get pin. Come on, get right the rule. What do we not hit? Girl, ready? Oh, are you gonna fight it? No, that's it. That's what you said. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? No, where'd my partner go? Where is he? There you are. What are you doing this whole time? No, I wasn't. I was waiting for you. No punching a girl. Never let a kid take me down. Ever. No one takes me down. You gotta try again tomorrow. You had your chance. How you kick a soccer ball.
Helen struggling. She said, no one takes me down. But that kid was punching. That kid was fighting. He needed to do boxing. Kids don't understand grappling, bro. They do a little bit, and then they start hitting you. She says, decided to teach a 4-year-old wrestling after I got sucker punched in the chest. I did not specify what type of fighting we were doing. Oh, that's sweet. I don't know if Helen if she's got any maternity instincts, but she was trying her best. And look, she's got the Training Lab shirt on. She looked tired too. I'm sorry. That's teaching them kids. You guys, I tell you guys to teach the kids. You know, it's good for your business, but it's rough out there. Rough on your soul. Be rough on your soul. Your patience be zeroed out. Them kids be punching and kicking you. And somehow the parents don't see none of that. The kid's over there punching you in the face. The parent, well, little Johnny's amazing. He's an angel. Little Johnny kicked you in your shin. Little Johnny's a brat. He needs some he needs some discipline. How come the parents take the kid to you to discipline their kid, knowing full well they need to discipline their own kid. It's crazy out here. So I don't really teach kids no more. Them kids be terrible, man. Them kids be them kids be terrible. Don't want to listen. Shout out to all my instructors out there teaching kids. I respect you guys, and I'll say a little prayer for you guys. Shout out to my man Jeff. He out there. He going through it too. We got one of our favorite wrestlers, Alex. She became assistant coach for the women's wrestling program. Where is this at? It's for Menlo Women's Wrestling. Where is that at? Menlo College. Where's Menlo College, everybody? It's in Atherton, California. Wow. Okay. That's amazing. I keep telling you, women's wrestling is growing. There's a lot of opportunities. So get your daughters, your nieces, your cousins, your play cousins. Get them out there in wrestling. Yes, it's one of the fastest growing sports. So shout out to her. She's on the world team. So she was supposed to have a match against Amit, but Amit had a medical issue, so she couldn't wrestle at Final X a couple months ago. Let's see what we got over here.
Cornell, you're going to leave with an Ivy League degree. I mean, I think a lot of people, especially when all these rules started changing, I thought we might be at a little bit of a disadvantage. But I think it also gives us an advantage. Our NIL pitch is like, you're going to go to Cornell, you're going to leave with an Ivy League degree. We're going to get you a really good internship. You're going to get a really good job. And now, if you start coaching, then great. But if you're going to work in the real world, you're going to end up with a really good salary for 40 years.
That seems to be good. But listen, why go to Ivy League if you're a good wrestler? Listen, they got NIL. That ain't going to fly no more, Ivy League. So Ivy League does not, I don't think they partake in that NIL program. So if you're a good wrestler, don't go to screw Cornell, screw Penn, screw all these programs. Go where you can make some money. He's talking about you can get a good salary for 40 years. Bro, some of them wrestlers making $1 million. Carter Sarachi made like $1.5 billion this year and last year. A lot of people ain't going to make $1 million in 40 years. So I would take the money. Who cares about that? You can get your NIL, do that, and then go to the Ivy League later. You can pay for your own Ivy League education later. So I don't see the point. If you're a good wrestler, screw the Ivy League, unless you want to become a finance person or something like that. You're really into science. You want to win a Nobel Prize? Okay, maybe go to the Ivy League, possibly. But if you're a good wrestler, bro, go to where the money is. You're only going to be young once. You're only going to be able to make that kind of money in college while you're in your prime. No point in wasting that at Cornell or somewhere. I'm sorry, I like Cornell. They got good wrestlers, but screw that. Go make that NIL money. Anybody telling you not to get the most money you can, I don't think they're on your side. That recruitment ain't gonna work no more. That recruitment, them kids seeing some real money. Them kids want some money. Bro, some of these kids were getting offered $5 million. They're not even in college. Bo Bassett was offered $5 million. $5 million. He turned it down too. $5 million to go wrestle at Iowa. Bro, you ain't going to make $5 million in 40 years in some of these programs. AI going to replace most of them kids. You're not even going to get, you're lucky if you get to work for 40 years in the future. God forbid your industry get displaced, tech or something, you gone. We just got a new AI program. Sorry, bro. We're going to have to let you go. Bro, listen, get that NIL money. Don't listen to this dude. I'm sorry. Jason Whitfield, what's up? Happy White Belt Wednesday, Jason Whitfield. Please go help a white belt. Adopt a white belt today, guys. Go help a white belt. Tie their belt, shrimp, and put their pants on right. White belts be putting their pants on wrong. That's crazy. He says, I was thinking starting kids in wrestling and judo and waiting on jiu-jitsu until they get older. That sounds smart. Because standing grappling appears to be more difficult to get good at the older you start. And, just have them do a little bit of groundwork so they can feel comfortable a little bit, when they get older. But yeah, man. Yeah, it's hard to compete with judo. Judo, make it to the Olympics possibly, but wrestling, you can college education, NIL possibility, coaching possibility. If you want to make money in grappling, you could own your own school in jiu-jitsu. I don't know what you can do in judo. You still got to get your own school. You got to pull a Travis Stevens in jiu-jitsu, or go the wrestling route. I think wrestling is better. There's more opportunities. Wrestling academy, coaching, NIL, and there's some pro divisions starting. You have RAF, Real American Freestyle, and Claw, Champions League American Wrestling, coming through. So I think wrestling gives you more opportunities. And it's just less crazy people. There's some crazy people in wrestling, but we don't got no Craig Jones. There's no Gordon Ryans. We do have Carter Strachis, though. And Aaron Brookses and Kyle Snyders. We got those people, though. I can't defend those people, and I won't defend those people. So yeah, we'll listen to his advice one more time, but I just don't think that's it. That advice don't matter no more. It's old advice now.
You're going to go to Cornell. You're going to leave with an Ivy League degree. I mean, I think a lot of people, especially when all these rules started changing, I thought we might be at a little bit of a disadvantage. But I think it also gives us an advantage. Our NIL pitch is like, you're going to go to Cornell. You're going to leave with an Ivy League degree. We're going to get you a really good internship. You're going to get a really good job. And now, if you start coaching, then great. But if you're going to work in the real world, you're going to end up with a really good salary for 40 years.
That's just old advice. Like nothing's guaranteed. He said you're gonna get out of here with a good job. You get out of there, I don't have a good job. So we'll see. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. We got the New Wave, Kingsway. I don't know, whatever they changed their name to for the week. John Carlos says, great practice this afternoon with the team. Special thank you to Val BJJ in Austin for lending us your space to use the ramp. We are extremely grateful. So, there's Jason Elf over there. Look, Jason Elf, go back to wrestling, bro. And what's that kid's name? Diego Oliveira? What's this kid's name? Something Oliveira. Go back to wrestling too, man. I don't know if you can pass USADA, but go back to wrestling, bro. So all these guys, they're getting ready. Is he on one of the teams? He might have just been there hanging out. David Asari. He did UFC BJJ. Anyway, they're getting used to, he did UFC BJJ too. And most of these guys and girls are getting ready for CJI. So, you got to get used to the ramp. It looks so weird. Let me move my head out the way. That looks so weird. Helen, does Daddy hear what you working with David Asari like that? It looks so weird. This sport, bro, I don't know. Yeah, go put your kids in judo and wrestling, guys. Look at us jiu-jitsu people. We find a way to lay down even while standing. we do everything to avoid standing up properly, huh? We don't want to stand up. Jason Whitfield says, I see so many adults get good at jiu-jitsu at later age, 15 to 19 years old. I rarely see adults who start wrestling at that age, even 10 years old, have any success. You got to prepare your body for wrestling. I think of Greco-Roman wrestling. We watched, what was my guy? Kamal Bey. He's trying to teach some of the kids how to do the suplex. And if your body ain't adjusted when you're young, you can't do that suplex no more. So you got to be able to do a suplex from standing. From standing into that back bend and then push yourself back up. And, most older people ain't going to be able to do that 15 to 19. That ain't going to happen. Even at 10 years old, you might be a little too old. So a lot of the wrestling, you need a lot of mobility and flexibility that you only get when you're little. So jiu-jitsu, you can get away with that. You know, you can get away with half guard. You don't need to be flexible in jiu-jitsu to be good. And that isometric strength, you can develop that, but the coordination that you need for wrestling and judo, if you don't get that early or from playing sports, a lot of those adults you see in jiu-jitsu, they also didn't play sports. Whereas wrestling and judo, they either started judo and wrestling early or they did other sports before doing judo and wrestling. So, most of the people start early. Even now, the champions in jiu-jitsu started pretty young. Your Rotulo twins, the Mika Gavals, the Cole Abates, the Tynans, they all started pretty young, 5, 6 years old. So I think it's getting to that point. Jiu-jitsu is still kind of newer, so you didn't have too many young people, 5-year-olds starting jiu-jitsu back in the day, but now it's changed. So, yeah, we'll see how these guys do.
Roman already covered this incredibly well, but this is such a shitty take that I absolutely had to chime in. It's 2025. How the fuck are we still having this conversation? I'll admit, things have gotten marginally better from the time when I started training up until now. And I think you can see this reflected in some of the comments on this post. A lot of people seem to disagree with it. But there's still an overwhelming majority of people out there who think S&C isn't absolutely necessary for jiu-jitsu. We are the only sport on the planet that has gaslit themselves into thinking that this is an absolutely necessary. And the fact that we have some of the top names in the sport still saying shit like this demonstrates just how far we have to go. I used to train with one of those coaches. At the end of the class, they'd give a monologue about how S&C isn't really necessary, and that if you have time to lift, then you should have time for more jiu-jitsu. And I remember locking eyes with another trainer friend of mine from across the gym, and we would just shrug our shoulders while the other 98% of that class lapped that shit up. We're doing a combat sport where every single move you make is resisted. Do you think it might be helpful to do, resistance training? We're also taking each other's muscles, joints, and connective tissues to end range failure. Damage is the goal. What about that makes you think that having strong and resilient tissues isn't absolutely critical? So for the same reason you wouldn't go to the hardware store for a carton of milk, you wouldn't go to a sport coach for strength and conditioning advice unless they had a background in that area. Because if they don't, I promise you, they don't know dick. So for the love of God, let's leave bad advice like this in the past so we could all help move the sport forward. So Roman already covered this incredibly well, but this is such a shitty take that I absolutely had to chime in.
All right, so we talked a little bit about this. Sorry. Had a little snack, some Yucca chips. I'm eating healthy, guys. Look. Yucca chips. Yucca, palm oil, and salt. That's it. Healthy. I think, a lot of jiu-jitsu people don't do strength and conditioning. I think it can be beneficial. And that's something my wrestling and my judo people, they love their strength and conditioning. But I think you can do too much. I think maybe early on is really great to get the strength and conditioning in. But even in wrestling, you've seen the older dudes, they don't be doing the same strength and conditioning. Like Jordan Burroughs don't be doing the same workouts he did in 2016. They do a lot more functional patterns, a lot of movement, a lot of just recovery stuff. I'm kind of on the fence about that. I think you need to do a little bit of strength and conditioning, but I don't think you need to be pulling like 800 pounds. You don't need to be Ronnie Coleman. I think you can overdo it. So you got to find the right balance. But it can help you. It can help you. But you can also destroy your body lifting too much, not doing your mobility work. I'm always going to push you guys to find balance, Of course, deadlift is good, squatting's good, pressing's good. But do it within reason. We watched one judo video, and they were saying, you're looking for, based off your body weight, your weight class, you're trying to get, 1 to 2 times body weight on certain exercises. You don't really need to go past that, I don't believe. And just, take it from there. Get guys, go hire a trainer or somebody. Get some help. You guys want to live ecologically though. How do you live ecologically? You just grab stuff and try to figure it out. No instruction manual. You just, okay, well, I'm gonna do this. That might work.
Essentially, the people aren't into a culturally immersive jiu-jitsu experience. What the people want to see is who can beat me up the worst. That's exactly what we're going to do today, so let's check it out. Oh, what's that, Will? Fucking hell. It's legit. Everybody from Sydney, everybody from the South Coast, Garage Wollongong, 11 a.m. Saturday open mat. It's where it's at. And there's a beach 3 minutes away that we're gonna go have a swim at now. I've figured out, essentially, the people aren't into a culturally immersive jiu-jitsu experience. What the people want to see is who can beat me up the worst. That's exactly what we're gonna do today, so let's check it out. Oh, what's that, Will? Fucking hell.
Sorry, guys, I'm chomping. Jason Whitfield says, "What do you focus more on in jiu-jitsu, mobility or strength training?" Well, you need some level of strength and some level of mobility. So, I tried to add mobility into my strength training. For instance, you're squatting, make sure you get deep. No diddy. Bulgarian squats. All my lifts, I'm trying to, work a little bit of mobility, that range of motion as much as I can. Any rotational work. You need balance because you need both. I ain't never seen, think about all the world champions now, your Titans and all those guys, they strong and flexible. So you try to maximize both. I'm not saying you got to do them together, make time to stretch, maybe after class. That's the best time to stretch, when you're warmed up. And then a couple times a week, I try to do my strength. My only issue is if I do strength too much, it's hard for me to lose weight. So that is one issue, which I've not been losing weight. I've been enjoying myself, but I need to lose some weight. So I will hopefully you have an off season. So like the summertime is a good time to start lifting for me because I don't really have any tournaments. So probably by the time I go home, I'll probably spend like 2 months lifting a little bit heavier, build some strength. And then by the time I start competing, less strength training and focus on more on losing weight and mobility. So I try to plan out my season. I'm not going to strength train while I'm also competing. That doesn't make any sense. So I try to build my strength when I have breaks in my schedule. So, whenever the tournaments are kind of slowing down, that's when I built my strength. And, that helps me. That helps keep me safe. Keeps my body strong so I can keep training hard. And then once the tournament season's kind of on, no-gi season's about to come up. Okay, less strength training. Says it's good to do strength training for sure. Definitely has helped me out, but it's not taking over a majority of my mat time. Yeah, a lot of dudes like, I'm just going to get stronger and I'm not going to go to the mat. So you always prioritize training on the mat as much as you can. I guess it also depends what style you want to go for. Well, longevity, balance. Longevity is the name of the game, guys. Jiu-jitsu is a marathon, guys. Well, some of these guys, they sprinting. They sprinting through their life force. But I want you guys to be here for a long time. Danny Choppa says, some people don't mind being super strong in exchange for gassing out in a minute. Well, I mean, they're not gonna do well. Yeah, endurance is important too. All that strength training and no endurance. We always forget wrestling about 6 minutes with the minute break in between. 3 minute rounds. I think 30 seconds to a minute rest in between. Judo, I don't know how long judo is. Jiu-jitsu match, black belt, 10 minutes. All right, I got to do that about 2 or 3 times in a day. And I got to do that the next day. And God forbid you get to ADCC, you're doing 20 minutes, 40 minutes. Let's see the wrestlers survive 40 minutes of wrestling. No wrestler can do 40 minutes of wrestling. Like a straight 40-minute match of wrestling. So, in jiu-jitsu, we also got to take into account the match duration. Like, well, this match is 10 minutes. I ain't got no break in between. I gotta strategize every minute of this match. So we got some judo. I've been trying to incorporate more judo. So really nice grip break. I want to try this one. So put your hand on your head there. Boom, break that grip. I'm gonna try that, guys.
Classifica na semifinal e é derrotado na final. Aí entra num torneio, numa divisão na categoria de cima, faz a mesma trajetória, vence quartas de final, vence semifinal e é derrotado pro Matheus Gabriel. Então, portanto, são dois campeões, peso pena e peso leve, que você fez a final e tá pedindo a revanche.
Claro, cara. Eu não tenho essa de vou lutar só no peso pluma ou peso pena. Como eu falei, eu sou atleta, então é o meu dever só lutar, né? Inclusive, queria mandar um beijo aí pros haters aí que tem o prazer de ir lá no meu Instagram e querer esculachar. Vem aqui, faz igual eu, luta de pluma, pena, leve. Ou vai no Mundial, luta em duas categorias diferentes. Se inscreve no Absoluta, tenta pegar pódio lá e vocês têm o direito de ir lá no meu Instagram e tentar falar alguma merda. Fora isso, fica só sentado mesmo no sofá, me aplaudindo, seus trouxas.
Você se classifica nas quartas de final,
So that's Bayram. You guys should know him. Did he get a haircut? Did he get a haircut recently? Let me check. I think he did get a haircut. Or maybe that's an old match. He says one of let me move it over so you guys can read it with me too. There we go. I want you guys to see it too. It says one of only those who are athletes or ex-athletes know how much we suffer behind the scenes to provide a great show for the audience. How much you suffered during all of this preparation, even more for a super fight in any event. The pressure we athletes go through. In the end, we athletes have to listen to heavy stuff on social media. I understand we have to be in the head to deal with this. Now, to receive criticism from a person who has never fought in an event in his life, never prepared for a fight, and still criticize us athletes on social media can't. I've been getting beaten up on the internet for a while now, and I felt compelled to tell them this. Being an Instagram fighter is easy. I want to see them doing half of what us athletes do to try and deliver some good jiu-jitsu for you, the audience. So let's be more aware, people. We are athletes, not robots. So pretty crazy because, I think about how people be attacking Fionn. And them dudes, Fionn be knocking them dudes out. She used to fight MMA, if you guys didn't know. She would knock them dudes out. So I don't take things too personally. I used to, but I post so much on social media now. I can't take things too seriously. It's just not gonna happen. So we got Cael Sanderson. It says Cael Mania swept through the country when Cael Sanderson completed his college career at Iowa State with a 159-0 record. That's pretty amazing, bro. Cael Sanderson was the truth back then. God, dog. Cael Sanderson was good. Someone says, love how he runs a tight ship at Penn State. No controversy, no drama, just dominating wrestling. Yeah, there's no drama at Penetration State University, Penetration State College. Someone says, what did I miss? Surely it can't be that bad. So some people are completely out the loop. So in the last couple months, Starachi was charged with SA. Brooks caught using PEDs. Snyder caught with doing the world's oldest profession. Pants down, single it out. So that's pretty bad. If that's not a blemish on your career, I don't know what is. He was all over every wrestling program across the country growing up. True legend. Think about that. 159-0. Most dudes today are wrestling max 20 to 30 times a season. Kel averaged 49 matches a year. And he wasn't facing scrubs. He was beating some gnarly competition. Never slipped up. Never got caught. Unreal. Yeah, Kel Sanderson back then, I mean, he's still good. I don't think the kids beat him in wrestling now. The only person I remember being Kel Sanderson was that Korean dude. Yeah, Kel Sanderson back then was amazing. I wasn't following wrestling back then. I was like in middle school. I wasn't following wrestling. We didn't have wrestling in Georgia back then that I knew of. It says, honestly, this is the most impressive feat in college sports history. Name one thing more impressive than never giving up a single loss when you compete that many times. Not a single opponent underestimated, completely locked in for 4 continuous years. Absolutely absurd legend. Yeah, there's only one Kel Sanderson. There's not hasn't been another one, right? They got Michael Pixley locked in for 99 kg. Spin everywhere, sorry. For team Daisy Fresh. Of course, you got to put him beating up Nicholas Margali on there. Dang. Nicholas Margali ain't ever going to outlive that. Jason Whitfield says, being an athlete today is so much more difficult compared to, let's say, the 80s and 90s because of social media. There is no escape. You lose a match, that's in your face constantly. Yeah, we're talking about Nicholas Margali. Back in the day, you just go home. Nobody saw your match. Wasn't televised. You might have some hecklers. You for sure had some hecklers back then. But yeah, you just go about your day. Nobody knew who Kel Sanderson was, it was, he said 80s and 90s. Yeah, nobody knew who anybody was back then. Yeah, you'd be okay unless it was on national TV. But now you lose the highlight reel. Flow Grappling put that highlight reel of you immediately. You got to see yourself getting tapped out about 50 different times. And they don't even tag you in it. People be like, yeah, they be complimenting the other dude or other girl, whoever beat you up. And now you can make your own. You can make your own highlights. You pay somebody to film your matches. You make your own highlight. And God forbid you lose. You got it, that dude, the person, the editor, got to make the highlight of you and he got to make you look good somehow. It's just you. It's just you at the beginning of the match, jumping up and down, warming up, a little bit of the match and some music. We got Andre Galvao. He says CGI changed the route of the sport. It set a better standard for athletes. The number of viewers shows the capabilities of jiu-jitsu. So Andre want that $1 million too. I know Andre didn't make no $1 million through ADCC or any of these other organizations, so he might try to get on that. He the alternate. How you the coach and the alternate? Andre Galvao can't wait to jump in. He waiting for somebody to get injured. All right, I'll step in. Andre Galvao saw the power of the inaugural CGI and is fully supporting CGI 2 as the coach of Team Atos. So, get your tickets, guys. It's going to be the 30th and 31st of August if you're out there in Vegas. I'm going to be watching it on YouTube. Won't be reacting to it because they don't like that. I'll be watching it on YouTube. I'm going to try to donate a little bit of money, too. I'm going to throw a couple singles at Craig Jones. I'm going to throw my singles. That's all I make on my channel. I'm going to throw a couple singles at Craig Jones.
Look at him, and he looks at me, and I look at him.
Can't play that music. So they're basically saying nobody wants to partner up with the white belt, which is true. But it's White Belt Wednesday, so I need you guys to partner up with the white belts today, guys. I need you guys to help out the white belts. Be nice and kind to the white belts. Go adopt the white belt for today. You know. Now, if they're a crazy white belt, you don't need to roll with them. But if they're a nice little white belt, you know, roll with them, show them some stuff. Show them how to tie their belt. Show them how to put their pants on right. You know, help the white belts out, man. We got Hassim. He says, fresh off BJJ stars, Hassim Rita is stepping back on the mats for the second weekend in a row. So you got to make sure he takes care of his body. He's competing a lot. Chill out, bro. You need to make it to CJI, bro. Apparently, there's like 60K. They giving 60K for the event. Well, what's going on here?
I'm very excited to get out here and compete in the UFC BJJ. Last match that I competed in, it was still UFC Fight Pass. So it's my first time doing UFC BJJ, and I'm super excited. Like, I think it's gonna just take off and take over the sport, and I'm excited to be a part of it. And I like the new rules. I think that, like, from the start, I was always like, I think 3 rounds are the way to go, because MMA fans already know how 3 rounds works. They already know how the 10-point scoring works. And then the bowl is super cool because, like, the octagon is not super friendly for the fans to watch because, like, you can't really see through the cage. And then for jiu-jitsu, like, you get up against the octagon, it can get kind of boring, you know? But in the bowl, it's exciting because when you hit the bowl, you kind of fall over and a scramble happens. So I think it's cool. I trained in the bowl during Jiu-Jitsu X during the week, and when they brought it out for us to train in front of all the fans, and I had a great time competing in the bowl. Or training in the bowl. I thought it was really fun, and I'm looking forward to competing in the bowl big time. I think it will result in some really exciting matches. Yeah, so not a lot of people know, but he has submitted me and Andrew. So he fought me 6 years ago when I was a blue belt, and he submitted me with an inside heel hook. And then a few years later, he fought Andrew on the Who's Next show, and he submitted Andrew with a knee bar. So he has very good leg locks. He's very, very talented, and he's a very big guy for 185. He's very tall and strong. So for me, I'm just going to be trying to not make the same mistakes I made in the first match and try to go out there and really throttle him and hopefully get him fatigued and then find the finish from the back. Andrew was able to have a rematch with him at the last West Coast Trials, and Andrew submitted him in an armbar because Andrew kept the pace very high. So I think that's going to be something I'm going to try to use in this match. It's a very high pace. Try to stay safe, of course. I don't want to do anything too reckless, but keep a very high pace, a lot of pressure, and I think that will result in me getting a submission. Bro,
I'm smacking today, guys. I'm sorry. I was hungry. Eat a little snack, and I'm going to get some good food today. God willing, get some good food today. You know, I like the Takis, but man, I always realize how young they are, and then it's crazy. They're like, UFC, we love the UFC, and I'm looking at BJ Penn over there asking for help. So I don't think you can have it both ways. I think, you know, I don't like the UFC. I think they're a terrible organization. You know, they got a lot of bodies on them, you know. So we'll see how this match goes. It's tomorrow. So if you guys didn't even know, it's tomorrow. The marketing for this event has been terrible. The marketing for most events, not CJI, has been terrible. I don't like any of the marketing for any of these events. It's been just horrible, horrendous. The only event that's been marketing and trying to sell tickets has been CJI. And Craig Jones over there killing himself. He got stage 2 hypertension, guys. Stage 2 hypertension, you know. So I'm not sure what to say. They're talking about growing the sport, but how are you growing the sport and you not putting any effort, any sincere effort? Has the UFC put sincere effort into the UFC BJJ? I don't think so. Look at their card. That tells you everything you need to know. They got people on that card that never did Nogi. Jalen, I don't think Jalen just got his black belt. He never did Nogi. especially at black belt, he never did no-gi. Isaac didn't do no-gi, and look how that turned out. So I don't know, man. We got Baron Bozo. What's she got to say?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll read it for you guys. I finished my snacks. No more eating till later. Hopefully. So when you take your pictures, like what your poses, what your pictures tell about you. So she got the ice bag, ice on her shoulder, face covered up. Says didn't tap in the finals even though you were losing anyway. Bled profusely on the mat multiple times. Always the happiest person on the podium. You got the Jack person, says not doing steroids, follower of God, won by advantage, passing on the knees. That's the Masters division. And then first tournament ever, got the baggy gi. Doesn't know what actually happened today. Will either quit in a year or develop unhealthy obsession with competing for external validation.
Listen to the first.
And then you got the person with all the medals.
Watch out now.
And then you got the double gold person. Thinks she's the main character in every song. Said thank you so much to every opponent, regardless of results. Will succeed because I am crazy. Vibes.
Watch out now.
Shout out to Baron Bozo. She doing it. All right, you got Gio Martinez. I think Tim Planet could have put someone better. I'm sorry. I like Gio. They could have put, if they want to win, okay, say you really want to win, I think Tim Planet could have put some other people at that 66 kilogram spot. I understand Gio's super famous, fan favorite. Yeah, for sure. Fan favorite, super good. But I'm saying if you really want to win, I'll probably put it some heavier. Maybe a younger person in that position. Gio's good, but come on, man. He older than me. I'm old too. You can fill some young people in that division, man. They got some young people at Tim Planet that can do that weight class.
Seriously, and now there's 5,000.
I don't want to watch this one.
I will support the events that support their athletes. So I took a stand last year, and that stand was I will not do no-gi worlds because the no-gi worlds were not supporting their black belt professional athletes. The more an organization treats me like a professional, the more I'll behave like a professional. So until IBJJF come to the table and help their athletes out, it is not cheap being a jiu-jitsu athlete, flying all over the place, training, like paying for your coaches, paying for your strength and conditioning, all that kind of stuff. So part of what they need to do is help support their athletes so they can be the best athletes they can possibly be. And those athletes are who gives legitimacy to these events. If there is no good professional athletes in the event, how can you call it a world title? You can't, because the best people are not there. How can it be a legitimate world title? You can't. So I think that it's very important that IBJJ step in and start to support their athletes and start to help athletes be professional athletes so that they can build the sport, so they can be the best athletes that they can possibly be. Until they do that, I will not jump in.
Sure, they could pay your Edjo at this point.
I will support the events that support their athletes.
Hard to disagree with Adele over here. She made a good point. IBJF can do better. They're very conservative, so they, maybe in 10 years from now they will start to pay for no-gi worlds and some other stuff. But I think what's going to happen, they're always going to have the Brazilians down, for sure. But I think they're losing the Americans, which they don't really care. They don't really care about the Americans, but a lot of the Americans are going towards no-gi. The Brazilians will still kind of stay in the gi, but then, once they get a taste of money, they start doing no-gi. Look at Mika Galvão. He doesn't do IBJF anymore. AOJ, they're going to for sure stay in the gi. But, things can change. If somebody else starts paying more money, IBJF does have history, but the landscape of the sport is changing. So, if you want to make some really big money, it seems to be harder to do that in the IBJF and in the gi. But if no gi seems to be growing, at least in the professional sphere. But for hobbyists and kids, the gi gonna for sure stay on top. And I think IBJF is okay with that. They're okay with just making money from kids and masters divisions and people competing as hobbyists. But they're gonna lose that top talent, and things like Jiu-Jitsu World League, even ADCC said they want to start doing gi events. It don't take much to disrupt everything, so we'll see what happens with that. I do see value in doing tournaments like no-gi worlds and stuff like that, but it does suck that you don't make money for that, and the money that they do give is not really that good if you do win, which is tough. It's hard to win, and then you don't make that much money, so they're not really incentivizing people. Well, they didn't have to incentivize people before, but now they got to up their game, I think. But again, they're very conservative. They don't really care. They don't care about us. Isn't that a Michael Jackson song? They don't really care about us.
Jiu-jitsu, but it also relates to everything in life. Most people that are beating you up in jiu-jitsu, if you stay long enough, they'll quit. For one reason or another, they just don't want it anymore. All the white belts that I started jiu-jitsu with when I was a kid and even as an adult, all of them are gone. There is not a single one left. Was I the best prospect out of the white belts? Probably not. I am just a dumb showing up. So again, if you want to be good at the sport or get anything that you want in life, tenacity will always win. Just don't quit. I cannot tell you the amount of white belts that I have seen walk in the door, say they're going to train every day, 24/7, and then walk out. And I promise, some of the guys that I even train with now, some of the guys that even watch my videos that I used to train with, all of them quit. And I know you're watching this, I just don't care. For one reason or another, they gave up. And this isn't to the people that just had like life stuff going on or just like, their family or money or whatever. These are people that just simply didn't want to show up anymore. I grew up in a college town, so like that's a lot of people. And fair enough, in my opinion, would you rather go party or would you rather go get strangled all day? Just remember, most people in life will just quit. Just outlast them and you'll win. Like, share, and follow. Yeah, just most.
That's good advice, man. Don't quit. I don't know. People gonna do whatever they want to do, man. And I ain't gonna fight them on that. Danny Tapa says, I'm doing an open weight tournament this weekend. Good luck, bro. That has a $500 prize. All right, go for it. So it's almost worth doing a local tournament that's less, and you can at least win some money back. Yep, that's true. Yeah, I mean, IBJF, they get that money out of their hands. And they make so much money. It makes no sense. Greed and, just boomer mentality can really hold you back. So they could do a lot of good in this community. They have all the money and power. Again, they're not a real organization. It's not like USA Grappling. They are a private organization, so they're about profit, and they really need to take federation out of their name. Fake Federation. International Brazilian Fake Federation. IBJJ. International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Fake Federation. IBJJFF. Mountings, what's up? Yeah, they could do a lot more. And God forbid Craig Jones go after IBJJF. Craig Jones might put... That would be... I wish he would reform Jiu-Jitsu in the gi. That would be pretty amazing. Craig Jones had $1 million gi tournament, bro. Everybody be screw the IBJF. I never liked the IBJF. We all turned our backs on IBJF. $1 million. You know what the Brazilians would do, bro? The Brazilians would. They would use up all their lifespan taking all these supplements. You had some super Mika, super Galval come out. Everybody come out of retirement. Rafa Mendez, Cobrinha for that $1 million. It says they could all at least give the competitors acai coupons. Yeah, that acai be Danny Top. That acai, I saw that acai. Was that Danny Top? Yeah, Danny Top. I was like, how much is that acai? He's like, $20. I was like, man, that's too much. You can't even get a free acai as a black belt. What's the point? You can't even get a glass of water from the IBJJF. And you got to pay membership. What is that membership going towards? I don't get anything. I haven't gotten anything from IBJJF. And I've been a member, I've been on their online registration since 2015. I've been doing IBJJF before the online registration thing was around. But man, before the database, they ain't giving me nothing. I ain't got no. Well, they give you a T-shirt. They gave me a crappy T-shirt. I don't want that T-shirt. I want a free acai. Give me that free coupon. Give me that free coupon for that acai, man. We got the Tackets getting ready for UFC BJJ that nobody's been promoting, so I don't know what else to say. Can't play that music. They should do well. They're technical, and they, they just really conditioned. They just go for it. I will say that backfires because didn't Tackett hurt himself submitting? Let's look for that match. Tackett hurt himself in that one tournament. Yeah, Tackett hurt himself in one match. Hopefully you guys can see it. We're just gonna go right to the start.
Sometimes reckless attacking game, but he is 5'11", weighted at 170 even, ranked number 10 in the flow grapplings. It's Barch versus Tackett here at Who's Number One.
BJ, I think he's going to need to show some real spectacular submission defense in this because I imagine he's going to get into some deep water at some point. Look at that little shot right away into Kimura now. It's PJ, but
goes for takedowns, goes for it all.
The audio went out. It wasn't me. It was them. We'll watch a little bit, guys. We need to watch more jiu-jitsu, less drama.
Very aggressive, as we say, sometimes reckless attacking game, but he is everything that a grappling fan wants to see. A person that goes out there, goes for submissions, goes for takedowns, goes for it all. Looks like he got a little whack in the face here. Kind of a crazy scramble, but I think he took one in the eye during that.
I mean, it's too hot. That was an exceptional leg entry. I mean, he hit that leg entry just beautifully. That's a nice right. Goes just too high. BJ just got too high on that.
And Tackett gets to the back of PJ Barch. It feels like a Suloev stretch could be coming here.
He's going to get that ankle. This is a horrible position. BJ got stuck in, put his head between his legs. Tackett's on the back now. Going to be tacking the neck like crazy.
Man, Tackett is, as I said, everything a grappling fan wants to see. Just an aggressive young man. He actually has a match against Mika Galvin. I believe it was Mika's debut at Who's Number One. And be interesting to see if they meet in the finals. It's been a couple of years since their original match, but BJ Barch is a veteran. Man, that guy's won everything. He actually defeated JT Torres at ADCC 2022. So there's a big target on his back for the.
Right, he's got this because he's the one winning the right side here. So he could elect to go after the neck on that far side, like a arm guillotine, but nope. Again, trying to get to the back, falling off.
Omoplata attempt there by Tackett. And Sean, you know, when you're throwing up omoplata's no-gi, do you feel like it's a little bit of a risky move unless you're really kind of starting it from a close connection in the bottom, or is it worth the attempt just to kind of open things up?
Yeah, you really got to get the shoulder down. If you don't get the shoulder down, you can get on the legs from it, so you can use it as an entry, but you definitely have to get pressure on the elbow and shoulder down on the floor. They're easy to limp arm out. When someone's on the standing position already. Nice Udagatami attempt.
We're gonna skip through a little bit.
And I think that the blast doubles.
Judges' favor, red.
Looks like Andrew Tackett is ahead in the judges' favor.
Let me just skip through. I just want to find the part where
he's up. There.
That's nice.
Beautiful counter.
Tackett with those fakes. PJ on the head, but Tackett's just doing such a great job. There's an Uchimata attempt. Nice Uchigari. Back to the Uchimata, but then he countered really well by Tackett into a.
It's got
this look of energy. Tackett.
I think you heard his rib in this match.
Viewing 20 Night of
Sorry guys, I'm
Champions.
zooming through it.
You guys are watching and having a Who's Number One viewing party. Take a post on Instagram, hashtag Who's Number One Champs. Put it in the description there.
Sorry guys, we're zooming through a little bit.
Back to the action. Andrew Tackett. Again, nice low shot on PJ Barch. PJ getting back to the feet. Tackett now working to the table, working towards the edge of the mat. I mean,
Gonna look at PJ's right leg. That left leg will give him the power to get PJ's right leg down, and that's going to expose that leg. There it is. He's now got to heal it that down to the
Sorry, we zooming through it, guys. I'm sorry.
Works himself to the back.
How'd he get that? Oh, underhook throw.
Now his hips are coming in. Works himself to the back here. That's a rough. There we go. He's got more a crucifix. So let's see what he.
in judges' favor. Oh.
Yep, nice. PJ gets his hands locked, gets around the corner.
Beautiful throw.
Try to
head PJ
on that elbow.
Event in Japan, he actually had a match against Kazushi Saka.
Tackett just comes out. Yep, he's gonna had that far. A nice double leg. Let's see if he drives him down to the ground. Yep, he's gonna had that far knee. PJ got that Uchimata again. Trying to get to the back.
He's doing a good like go behind off the body lock, but he keeps his hands open. It's pretty nice.
Face many championship bouts event.
Move by PJ.
Women's matches coming up later on.
Nice move by PJ to get around to the back off that low single leg.
Tackett's so Gumby, bro.
Tackett there, though.
That Gumbiness helps him so much.
Knee bar. Trying to get on the knee bar.
Nah, he's out.
Decent attempt there.
I could have sworn he got hurt. Maybe he didn't get hurt.
And Norris is always
splits. But now that was
good defense by Tackett though.
now Tackett, if he can backstep out, look to get to the back from this position.
Yeah,
BJ's got to be careful here. Making space.
Tackett was getting tired over there. That's crazy because he was 20 years old getting tired, and PJ was 33.
BJ slipping out. Right in a counter.
He's doing the same move. Underhook, trap grip, right here. So look, you're gonna free the underhook. Slide, I'm about to say slide by, but go behind there.
Tackett looking to get to the back. BJ slipping
Does it again.
They're all over this match. Absolutely. On both.
I could have sworn he got hurt in this match.
I think several back take attempts.
Anyway, it's hard to fight those Gumby dudes, bro. They be Gumbying all over the place. Yeah, them dudes be Gumby. I don't know. We'll see. Is Canuto versus Tackett? Should be okay. Balea, Ricardo Amodella. I just say Balea. That's his old nickname. He got a little bracketing system here. Let me take myself off the screen for a second. You guys can see. Shoot. There we go. Yeah, take myself off the screen so you can see. It says like the dream matchup for 185 will be Rotullo versus Tama, Dante Leon, and John Thor Blank. Jimenez, Couch. These guys can't make 185. Galvao and Tackett. 2 Tackets? Oh, just 1 Tackett. Where's the other Tackett at? Of course, Devontae says the 205 bracket would be fire. Devontae, man. Devontae, he I don't know. It's crazy to see these really good fighters, these good grapplers, like, just begging for matches and begging to be on events and begging to be. It's tiring. Why they gotta beg so much? They gotta beg to be on this event, beg to be on that event. It's crazy. They got all the skill in the world. They don't need to beg. You gotta make yourself into someone that people, they're like, bro, we gotta have him on the card. Gordon retired. Everybody wanted to see Gordon compete. So I think that's what Devontae needs to get to the point of, where people just want to see him compete. I think he needs to put out more content. That's always usually the answer. Put out more content, We got Gregoria Polas. He's the take me down for $1,000. He says, I don't want to mess with my lineup. I like everything the way it is. I don't want to trade anybody or give anyone up. So he is one of the general managers for Claw, Champions League American Wrestling. So that's pretty awesome. And his team, I don't know anybody on his team, really. I'm sorry. Brandon Wright, I think I might know. I'm not the most knowledgeable of wrestling. I'm not sure when the Claw is going down. It's kind of hard for me to keep up with everything because I got my own stuff too.
A billionaire friend of mine who has had a long-standing feud with the IRS has just called me because he believes the 40% you pay each year to the U.S. government is theft, and he wants to go band for band with the U.S. government. So for the next 4 hours, all CJI tickets are 40% off, and I trust this man will be good for that 60% difference. I repeat, 40% off all CJI tickets, including VIP, for the next 4 hours. But seriously, if you have trouble with the IRS, use the sponsor, IRS Medic. I know I will when they check the books for CGI too. It's expensive. All right, let's... An anonymous billionaire...
Guys, pray for Craig Jones. He over here giving you discounts. He doing everything he can to get you guys to support CGI. So I need you guys to do your part. I'm gonna try to give some money too. I'm gonna give some money, and when I give some money, I want you guys to be there to see that I gave some money. I'm not just hoarding my money. the little bit I got. I got a couple quarters here. I'm gonna give them to Craig. Here you go, Craig. I got some quarters. Hey, go, Craig. I got you, bro. I got some more quarters somewhere. I'm donating all my quarters to Craig Jones in CGI 2. I'm gonna suggest you guys donate a little bit of money too. Stick it to the UFC like I will. Sorry, I had to message Evan on something. I meant to send him the schedule. In 1 second, gotta coordinate some stuff. So yeah, go support CGI 2, guys. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not going to be on that event. I'm not even going to be in Vegas, but I'm going to be watching from YouTube, and I'm going to try to give a little bit of money. My man Craig Jones killing himself for you guys. Come on. Done dyed his hair pink. Let me text John Kim. Got to make some moves online. We talked a lot about Ali Geddes. He passed away yesterday. R.I.P. Ali. So we have Mauricio Gomez. If you guys don't know, this is Hadra Gracie's dad. Basically, the guy that got him into jiu-jitsu. Got him so good. So Mauricio says, "Rest in peace, my dear friend." No words. So, yeah, nice little photo, man. I'm going to take myself off of there so you guys can see the photo. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, look at that. Pretty sad situation, man. Sad. Condolences, yeah. Ah, man, that's life. I tell you guys to be helpful. Kind of quick onset of that disease, but do your part in being healthy, guys. Screenings, get checkups. I gotta take my own advice too. We got Victoria. She's sharing some techniques.
My double there. Inside side. Big pull front headlock. She gets back up to her feet. Shift the upper body. Take this. Now I have control of her head. I have control of when she gets fully up. So I just release this and slide into my double. Sometimes I will let their head come up and shift to my double there. Inside side. Big pull front headlock. She gets back up to her feet. Shift the upper body. Take this. Now I have control of her head. I have control of when she gets fully up. So I just release this and slide into my double.
Nice. Really good technique from Victoria. I keep telling you, the female wrestling's growing, man. You guys don't want to listen to me, man. My female wrestlers, I'm a huge fan of the female wrestlers. I support the ladies wrestling. So should you. Respectfully, of course, always respectfully. Kevon, what's going on with Keith Krikorian and Kevon? What's going on with these guys, man?
So, as many of you may have heard, I recently had to let go of my unpaid intern, Kevon Gonzalez. Now, he put out a statement talking about many things. My finances, my followers, even denigrating my close friends. Now, that's all fine. I could let that go. But he took it a step too far when he talked about my vehicle. Clearly, Kevon has never seen a 2025 Kia K4. This baby's got voice-activated aqua mode, Gatling gun under the hood, heated cup holders, and a mini bar in the glove box. So suck on that, Kevon. Hey. Did you get away from my car? Yeah, sorry. So, as many of you may have heard, I recently had to let go of...
So I'm all for the, I'm not all for the crap talk, the shit talk, but they doing it. I don't like how Kevon made it about money because he knows all the jiu-jitsu people are broke. I'm over here struggle streaming in the basement. He knows all the jiu-jitsu people are broke, so I don't think that was a good argument to make. He's calling him poor and broke and stuff. Well, he just insulted every jiu-jitsu person. Then basically, we're offended because he sounds like Moneyberg. We don't like Moneyberg. Moneyberg called us all poor, and maybe he was right. Moneyberg said, "You guys ain't got no supercar. You ain't got no Rolls Royce. You ain't got the Bentley. You broke." Because once you start talking about money, there's always somebody with more money. Let me message everyone. I think so. Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't talk about money. I'm not going to win any arguments when it comes to money. Let's talk about skill and technique, Kevon. I mean, Kevon's pretty tough. I haven't rolled with him, but he's tough. Let's talk about somebody with some real skill. We got Junie.
Chris and his whole team just doing great things at Phalanx. They have the new modern cuts. They have the female line that's really, really cool and dope to have both female and male. Their new cuts, their rebrand, and their new shorts, the grind shorts, the HP TX shorts, my favorite shorts, and all the rash guards have just been designed and upgraded to feel like second skin while you're rolling. Honestly, it really is one of the best sets of gear and just rash guards in general I've ever used. This past June, I officially signed with Phalanx. I chose to stay with Chris and his team. They just believe in me. I'm a 36-year-old athlete, and most brands think that they go with who's going to last the longest in the next couple of years. It's nice to have a brand that believes in me past the age and past the credentials. I think they're truly just believing in me for my work ethic and who I am as a person. I want to take this time. You always look at the brands and you always think about what they're like from the exterior, but inside it's very important. I want to know, Chris wanted me on this pro team for over a year. He just couldn't quite fit me in and wanted me to be patient. And while I had a lot of other options, I chose to be patient because him and his team is so solid. And end of this last June, he came through and we signed the contract. So my first contract officially sponsored by a brand is with Phalanx, and it's important to note that it's not always about the money. Obviously, it's about money and making a living, but also believing in the brand that you promote. I believe in Phalanx. They've been doing this for Nogi for over 10 years. They've just rebranded. They've just came out with new cuts, new designs, and just dropping stuff nonstop. And they take care of the athletes. Whatever I need, especially when it comes to gear, it's set forward. They do the custom kits for me. They're just overall a great sponsor. So I really want to give Phalanx a shout out for Chris and his team. And if you support me, please go use my code Junie. Just give them a like. Check out their gear. It's really important that you look at a gear company that is bigger than just the gear that they sell. The brand really truly embodies Nogi Jiu-Jitsu. What's up, guys?
Pretty crazy that Junie's pretty good. He won Nogi Worlds once or twice or something, and twice over here. Look, he won twice. Pretty crazy that he didn't have a sponsor. So, you guys know I'm sponsored by Inverted Gear, but man, listen, that sounds awesome. Custom kit? I don't get a custom kit. I'm wearing the same gis. Where's my gi at? Somewhere. But shout out for him. He deserves it. I'm surprised it took this long. He's super good, pretty marketable. I mean, he was fighting Mikey. When he fought Mikey, he didn't have a sponsor or anything. That's crazy. So we got to do better, guys, as a whole, as far as sponsorships and talking about money, making money, getting paid. There's a lot of money in the sport. It's just not going to the fighters, really. It's going to Mikey. Mikey taking all the money. Gordon over there bankrupting companies. Junie says they've been in the Nogi game since before it was trendy. Phalanx, he says, built with real roots in jiu-jitsu. They've rebranded the look, dropped a whole women's line, kept evolving, but stayed true to the sport. Chris told me he'd put me on the pro team, and he followed through. At 36 years old, I signed my first official gear deal. No gimmicks, just respect. Most brands chase the 19-year-old star. Phalanx believed in me. This is more than just gear. This is a company that sees the full value in an athlete. Years of work, loyalty, and showing up when it matters. To every older competitor still grinding, you're not too late. Let's check them out real fast. Let's see what they got. I wear inverted gear, but you guys can check it out. Oh, they do custom gear too. I need some custom gear. All right, Phalanx. Oh, I like this colorway, this Granite Storm. That looks pretty nice. That's pretty cool. I like that. I'm not sure about the cut though. The cut seems kind of small in the arms. I need a little bit bigger in the arms over here. The shorts look pretty cool. I like that colorway. The Granite Storm. It stands out. It's different. Okay, got the dust core. All right, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but maybe you want some difference. Yeah, that looks okay. Alrighty. Okay, not bad. That was not bad. This was not bad either. I like this the blue, the Granite Storm. That's kind of what I like right there. Yeah, it's nice. Pricing wise, a little expensive, $64, but looks like good quality. The logo's okay. I'm not the biggest fan of Spartan War stuff on my apparel. I like to keep it simple, basic. Okay, let's look at their other products. What about this hoodie? This hoodie looks pretty good though. Let's see. That hoodie looks pretty high quality though. Seamless? No, I don't see the seamless. Look at the stitching. What kind of fabric is that? Oversized hood. I like that. Material looks pretty good. Patch doesn't look too strong on there, but that's fine. Okay, the stitching looks decent so far for what I've seen. Let me look at their t-shirts. You can tell a lot by the t-shirts. Men's t-shirts. This colorway is not too bad. I like that. I like contrast with my skin tone though. As always, you gotta try stuff out. That's the only way you're gonna see if anything fits you. I just want to see their shirts, see what the quality of their shirts is. Didn't show the stitching. Let's see. We got to zoom in. No, I want to zoom in more. How do I zoom in? I can't see. I can't really tell, but might be okay. Again, I tell you guys to put on inverted gear, but you guys wear whatever you want to wear, whatever is comfortable, whatever the designs you like. You do you. But also check out inverted gear.
Jiu-jitsu. I said, judo build the gorillas, jiu-jitsu build the snakes. You need both. That's why, for me, until this day, is the perfect combination. You want to be complete. You want to win tournaments, judo and jiu-jitsu. Just one, just the other, is not enough. Because the fight's going to get tough. Both going to stand up. And then how you behave yourself.
Yeah.
That's
Butt
amazing.
scoop won't do it.
What's that?
Butt scoop won't do
Butt
it.
scoop, yeah. Oh my god.
Won't
How did
do
that,
it.
that didn't even exist in those days, you know?
It's the toughness that judo brings. Today, everybody's like very fragile grips. And jiu-jitsu, I said, judo build the gorillas. Jiu-jitsu build the snakes. You need both. That's why, for me, until this day, is the perfect combination. You want to be complete. You want to win tournaments, judo and jiu-jitsu. Just one, just the other, is not enough.
You know full well that they the same sport, basically just judo. Those jiu-jitsu schools you had to do some judo. Like at my school at Alliance, you had to know some judo throws. You know, basic seiyanagi, uchimata, ko-uchi, harai. Is that which one's the whatever the hip throw is, around the hip, around the waist, osoto. You had to know basic throws. Now I'm not saying we were mastered the throws. You know, we coached in judo, but you had to know a little bit of the throws. But most schools I go to, they don't practice. They don't practice it. They don't practice no self-defense. I had to do everything, bro. I had to do self-defense, some judo, a little bit of wrestling, and then your jiu-jitsu stuff. Bro, we had to be good at everything. Everything you had to be good at. Nowadays, the schools, you know, they just do whatever they want. But I had to just do everything. You had to be good at everything. Because you're going to get tested on that. Can't get out that headlock? All right, man. You don't get your blue belt. Don't know the judo throw? All right, man. You can't get that purple belt. So I wish more schools followed that kind of process. But most schools, they don't want to warm up. You can't even make people warm up no more. They complain and whine and cry. Can't make nobody do a warm up. They don't want to warm up. You can't make nobody focus on the technique. They just want to play games ecologically and have fun. So, yeah, it's a different age now. And if you guys don't know, that was Saulo Ribeiro, the older brother of Sanji. Sanji Ribeiro.
Jiu-jitsu, quit lifting, and got even stronger on the mat. They didn't get stronger on the mat. I don't know why our sport is obsessed with embarrassing ourselves, but what do you think would happen if you added 100 pounds to all of your lifts, gained 10 pounds of muscle, and lost some body fat? Do you think you'd be a better grappler or a worse grappler? The time has come for our sport to be pulled out of the dark ages. This is not 1992 anymore. You need to lift weights, you need to eat correctly, and then go get better at the techniques in your sport. That is how you become a well-rounded athlete. Frankly, this shit is embarrassing and only happens in our sport. It's time for it to stop. Why the greatest grapplers in jiu-jitsu quit lifting and got even...
This guy's hilarious because he's kind of a lifting bro. You know, he's huge dude. He follows the Gordon Ryan method of training. He might be hitting the gym too much. I think he need to train. He need to drill a little bit more. He doing too much gym and not enough jiu-jitsu. He looks like a bigger version of Tynan. He does. Look at his head shape. Don't he have the same head shape as Tynan, but in a bigger form? Look at him. Well, he trains with Gordon Ryan. I want to see what he looked like before all the supplementation. Can we find him? I don't want to go through his social media. But that's him with Daddy Danaher. So I think he's too big. When you get that big, you know you ain't flexible no more, bro. Them ligaments, ligaments holding on barely to the muscle. Guys, balance. I tell you guys, balance. You don't need to be a bodybuilder to do jiu-jitsu. You do need some isometric strength, though. Focus on your isometric and your grip strength. You know, if you can deadlift 2 times body weight, press 1 time body weight, squat 2 times body weight, you good. You don't need any more. You don't need to do all that, whatever that dude's doing. We got Mikey.
969,000 followers on Instagram. Please don't follow me anymore. I just want to stay at this number. 69 is one of my favorite numbers. My mom was born in 1969, so it's a very special number to me. Also, Bryan Adams' Summer 69 is one of my favorite songs. So yeah, I just want to stay at 69. Don't follow me. Hey guys, so I finally just hit 969,000 followers on.
I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I can't say anything else. I don't want to say anything else. I'm just gonna go ahead and click off of that. There we go. We talked about Ben Askren. I think he's doing better. Hopefully, let's see any updates on that. He was back in the hospital. You guys know. I guess he had more infections. Well, it's part of his life now. He's immunocompromised. There's nothing else he can do. You guys get a new pair of lungs and tell me how good they work when you first get them. And he was overtraining and pushing too hard. He need to slow down for sure. He was on the bike. He was lifting weights. He just got home. You gotta go a little slow, bro. He was like, he trying to do a marathon on the pedal bike, on the recumbent bike. The the immunosuppressants suppress your immune system. Who would have guessed that? So his life, they're saying that, he still hasn't figured out that his life has changed. He's trying to get back to what he used to be. But I don't know if that's ever going to happen. He might not go back to what he was like 3 months ago. He was on top of the world 3 months ago. So again, guys, things can change. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how good you are at jiu-jitsu. I don't care how good you think you look. Life can change pretty fast. I'm trying to see if there's any new comments. I was looking to see if there was anything new, but I don't know if there is anything. Someone says, sit your butt down. I know it's hard, blah, blah, blah. Sit down and recover. He's pushing too hard, so them lungs, you got to break those lungs in. Said, dude needs to quit that lifting and cardio life and retire. I bet it's hard just to quit like that, but your life depends on it now. Them lungs probably never worked out. Them lungs, where do they get those lungs from? It says, Ben is an inspiring guy. If I had a bad day, I see him in good spirits despite a way worse situation, and it helps me feel like everything will be okay. People, they're still asking stuff. Yeah, he might not be able to wrestle anymore, which is sad. That's something he really loves, wrestling and being around people. So you can't do that anymore. It's just not going to happen anymore. Someone said, I feel like he's pushing himself way too much and hard. Saw him lifting weights and on the pedal bike as well. I am not an expert, but feel like he should be resting up like crazy right now and not doing all that. Lifting weights way too soon. This is not a fight he can rush. I think he's still in the stage of overestimating his own capabilities in recovery post-illness. He was a relatively young, strong, healthy dude one day and then woke up weeks later emaciated, sick, and with 2 different lungs. I think we read that yesterday, but that's okay. With 2 different lungs in his body, it's going to take time for him to come to terms with the fact that he will never be as independent and strong as he was before. Yeah, he can forget ever setting foot in the gym, both regular and MMA. Too many people, too much bacteria. He should be wearing a mask to go to any public indoor places. Hope he's not anti-masker. I think he was. Not much we can say. Take care of yourselves. know when to rest. You guys don't rest. Jiu-jitsu people don't rest. And you know wrestlers don't rest. Them dudes ain't got no hip or knees, and they still wrestling. Judo people crippled too, though. We got a little post here. It says, everyone's jiu-jitsu journey is different. I'm going to try to click on it and read it. Let's start from the beginning. It says, first lesson in 2003. Holy smoke, this was crazy. Hard as heck. Fun, though. Then he got his first stripe. He says, yeah, I watched my belt, hence the stripes falling off. My daughter was born. Took a few months off at blue belt. And that was 2005. Okay. You know, white belt still didn't know what. Wait. Okay, it's kind of hard to see what's going on. Yeah, blue belt 2005, purple belt 2010. He got too much going on. Brown belt 2012 under Hodger Gracie. Black belt under Mauricio Gomez, Hodger Gracie's dad, 2015. That same year I got my black belt. And then a couple stripes. So, you know, you got to live a lot of life in those belts. Moneyberg, he just 3 years, he got all of his belts. But everybody else had to go through, 10 plus years. This guy did 12 years, 2003 to 2015. No. It was 12 years. So, you going through a lot of milestones through those belts. Oh, it's Mirkatsu. Okay. Yeah, that's a good little thing to show you guys. So you guys trying to rush that stuff, knowing full well you can't rush life. Did you guys know you can't rush life? I just learned that. It says, in your personal experience, who is harder to deal with, a judoka or a wrestler? I'm going to post that question to you guys, too, in the chat. Let's do a poll. Actually, we'll do the other thing. We're going to copy it. You won't copy? Of course. If you guys want to answer, you can. Go ahead. Be interactive with that Q&A. I'm going to go back to the chat. There we go. It says, obviously, there are a lot of variables to do this, including age, level of experience, athletic level, competition versus hobbyist. It says, but in general, let's say you have two people of the same size, same age, same athleticism with the same level of experience in their respective sport. Who is harder to deal with? Is this gi or no gi? We need to know if that's gi or no gi first. Someone says gi will be judo, no gi wrestler. Wrestler's tough in both. Wrestler, judoka has a harder time forcing me into their game. If I'm not playing light on my feet, he has a very hard time. Wrestlers can force their game. It says wrestlers, but I've never really rolled with a high-level judoka. Wrestler, there's a rigidity to judo that makes it hard for them, I think. Rules and drilling culture. Obviously, I'm not going to stand there and play the game and get armbarred. Judokas generally bring aggressive and competent subs that would create much more significant threats. Good wrestlers can smother you on top, but they aren't throwing mean arm bars with a hard judoka will. It depends on if you got an old school judoka that has nawaza. That might be a nightmare. They might submit you with something like weird kimura, weird triangle, keisugatami. Wrestlers might control you better overall, but I think the judoka with good experience could probably be, catch you in something crazy. You're like, dang, I ain't even seen that move before. Wrestler, you're not going to get tapped out probably, but you might get taken down and passed and controlled for a bit, but you're not going to get submitted. It says the judoka can be scary if you're on your feet, but doesn't have much on the ground. The wrestler is tough, both on his feet and on the ground. but will be positionally sound, but don't have the depth of knowledge at the submission game. Says Nogi, I like my chances better with the judoka. Yeah, it's true. Nogi, you want to fight the judoka. I want to face the wrestler. In the gi, I want to face the wrestler. If I had to face them both ways, I'd rather face the wrestler. Yeah, it depends. Depends on the wrestler. You know, no wrestler's gonna tap you out, bro. Unless it's not PJ Barch. Yeah, PJ Barch might submit you, and what's the other kid? Pat Downey. They might submit you. That might be pretty bad, but I think I'm gonna go judoka. Give me the judoka. Dermatologist told me showering at home is better. Of course. Went to my dermatologist this week. I explained how I train grappling, and told him I was concerned about skin infections. I have roughly 15 to 20 minute car ride home, and he told me there is really no difference between that and showering at the gym. He said, depending on the cleanliness of the shower and how often they clean, I have just as big a chance of picking something up from there as I do the mats. I honestly found that interesting and figured he would tell me shower immediately. Someone says, I got staff from my trial class. Dang. Then years later at a different gym 3 times in one summer, even though I was insanely careful by the end. Immediately shower, all dirty clothes immediately into a trash bag in the locker room, then washed at home that night. Washing the training bag every week, even though I never touch dirty clothes. Some of us are just more susceptible. Yeah, it depends. You know, some people get it. You know, some people get ringworm and staph a lot easier. So that might be more with their immune system and, you know, skin. You know, your skin's your first barrier of protection there, guys. That skin's off. It says also the shower as soon as possible thing doesn't make much sense. If you work on the mats for an hour and a half, why does the shower timer start the second you step off the mat? And someone says staff knows the difference between a 2-hour class and a 1-hour class. To my understanding, there is not much difference within about 30 minutes aside from getting your car seats funky. Yeah, just you need the whole gym being clean. You know, you should be training on clean mats. The shower should be clean. The bathroom should be clean, and you should be clean. So, and there should be no staff involved at this school. No ringworm or no staff. Someone says, I own a gym, routinely teach and train multiple times a day. We don't have showers. I've gotten staff 2 times in 12 years. Both times were after I cross-trained. You got to be careful who you train with, too. Says skin infections don't activate at the conclusion of class. They are activated by skin-on-skin contact. Immediately taking a shower at the end of class isn't going to make much of a difference if you came in direct contact with ringworm or staph an hour before. The safest thing is to grapple in the shower. That sounds pretty dangerous, actually. Shower in the class, bro. Some of you guys be fighting. Some of you guys be wrestling in the shower. Someone says, I have always showered at home, 20 years, no issues except for ringworm twice. And it turned out some typhoid Mary guy was covering his ringworm with bandages for months and contaminating everyone. We banned him until he finished treatment and the ringworm went away. If there was some magical timing, we would all be getting infections all the time. It's not like they stopped just because we are rolling, as if rolling was some magical thing that held bugs off until we finished. Guys, make sure you're showering. Someone says, is CJI 2 worth going to in person? I think so. If you guys are going to be in Vegas August 30th and 31st, go to CJI, go represent for me. I'm going to be here donating on YouTube. Someone says, I've been 50-50 about attending sports events in person because the view on YouTube plus commentary is most likely going to be better than sitting in the back of the arena. However, I most likely will be in Vegas anyways, so want to help keep my options open, Curious if anyone went to CGI 1 and what your experience was. If you're already in Vegas, I say go. You can always rewatch the matches later with commentary, but you only get the live atmosphere once. Bro, just go, man. Just go. Says I posted on one of the YouTube videos about ticket sales, and I don't believe they're doing well because he just put 40% discount on all tickets. Well, they might just be trying to get rid of some of the other remaining stock. If you're already in Vegas for whatever reason and can justify the expense, then do it. It'd probably be fun. Having said that, I don't think Craig and the event organizers realize how expensive things are now. People are really prioritizing certain expenses and luxuries, and spending likely close to $1,000 to watch BJJ is something a lot of people cannot afford right now, between flight, hotel, meals, drinks, and tickets. Yeah, go, guys. Just go. If you can, of course. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you can afford everything. We talked about Mika Gaval. He's going to CGI. I don't think that's fair that he's on New Wave team, Kingsway team. That doesn't sound fair. That doesn't sound fair at all. Says there are at least 3 teams that Mika could beat everyone on his own. So he could probably beat Team Europe, maybe Team Australia, maybe Team Planet. He might be able to beat B Team too. So that's not fair. We need Tynan. We need somebody that can beat Mika. Yeah, we need Tynan. We need Cade. We need the Rotulos to save us. He says, I think Mika takes care of Team Europe on his own if he starts with Charles, the biggest guy. Charles DeGramonte is tough though. I fought him one time. That was rough. Let's see. Does no one remember how his last ADCC run went? No doubt he's still great, but not the absolute force like 2022. Don't worry. He's going to come back stronger and faster than before. Well, he popped in 2022, right? Was it 2020? Yeah, he popped in 2022. You weren't fighting regular Mika. You were fighting Super Mika back then. Says Team Europe doesn't do justice to European BJJ talent. Well, a lot of those guys, Tommy Langaker had surgery. Tariq was injured. Agan, what happened to Agan and Szynski? I don't know what happened with those guys. Says ego-driven coach. Europe's top grapplers are definitely at the USA level as far as the new generation goes. Who's the coach for Team Europe? Does anybody know? I don't really remember who the coach is. I can't remember for the life of me. Do you guys know? You have no idea. I have no clue. I don't remember who the coach is, but there's a lot of talent in Europe. Yeah, I'm not sure who the coach for the team is. Joseph Chen could have represented Europe. Europe should have kept their athletes. They let all their athletes go to B team and other places. Says Mika could probably take out all of Team America's. Oh yeah, all of Team America. Yeah, he might take out 4 teams then. Probably the most disappointing looking squad. Ferris. Oh. I would have had Fionn as the coach, to be honest. Fionn or Agan. Hodger. What's the guy that's in Spain now? They used to be Fionn's coach. Irish dude, that guy. Who else would have been good? R.I.P. Ollie. Ollie would have been a good coach. There's some other people in UK. Says prospect of Mika trying to pass Victor Hugo's card gets me excited. Hopefully no Diddy. I feel like Hugo struggles a bit with smaller, quicker guys. Everybody does. Mika versus Joe Chin will feed generations. I like Joseph. I don't know if Joseph going to do much to Mika either. I don't think Joseph can barely handle Tynan. I don't know if he can handle Mika. If this team had Mergali and Gordon fully healthy, they'd absolutely sweep the rest. Unless Craig and J-Rod were competing for B team, then it would be very close. As it stands now, still an excellent roster, but their heavyweights don't quite stack up to the B team. But Bodoni plus Mika is the best 77 and 88 kg in the competition without a doubt. The thing is, Giancarlo's kind of hit or miss sometimes. You know, Giancarlo would be good when ADCC comes around, but outside of ADCC, you don't really see him dominate that much. 88's going to have some really good people. PJ Barch, some other people too are going to be doing well in that division. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. It says, has Altos announced that Kynan is not competing? They have Felipe Pena at plus 99, and if they put Kynan at minus 99, they'd have the start of a very well, that's what they're doing. That's what they have. They're gonna have Pato at 66. Imagine if they could get Hulk at 88. That's what it is. That's Hulk is at 88, I believe. And they got they don't have Tynan at 77. They have Ronaldo Jr., who is good. Says although Hulk lost to Giancarlo, and I don't think ever beat him again, depending on how you match people up, that Otto's team would be really hard to beat. If Cade and Ty were available, they'd have a strong team for the overall win as well. I don't know where the Rotulos are. It says, unfortunately, I doubt Ty will be at CGI since he has an MMA fight on the September 1st. I don't know about Cade. Says he's in the 77 kg spot, so we might see another Dante rematch. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Dante. He's good. Gordon doesn't want his team to lose this one, so Mika is a far, far safer choice than Jay Goon. Top 3 favorite are New Wave, B Team, and Otto's, even though Otto's team is incomplete. Them having Pena and a wild card Pato shows that they're playing to win. New Wave is the slight favorite, but it's not a lock. Big Dan's going to have a tough time. Bodoni is very hot and cold. No telling how much Mo paid. Not telling how much Mo paid Mika to Mika could have won $1 million last year for the CJI, but he decided to do ADCC, and we're kind of assuming that Mo paid him under the table, maybe like $100,000 possibly. It would be a shame if Mika got paid $50,000 to do that. I don't think he made $100,000 because he would have had a better watch. I think he got paid $20,000 because I'm looking at his watch. So I don't think he made $100,000. I think Mika screwed up. He made a mistake, and that's why he's doing CJI 2 this time. Jason Whitfield says, I went last year. I think CJI is seeing a problem with making the event free. Why would you go sit in a stuffy arena, pay for a ticket and expensive concessions? Also, you're stuck in the seat for hours. That is true, but you're going to go there for the, about to say pageantry, but for the spectacle. You want to see, you guys love Craig Jones. You want to see him in person doing crazy events, crazy stunts, giveaways. And you want to see, I think if you're there, you should go do it. Yeah, this is a spectacle. The spectacle is completely different when you're there in person. I think it's a better show when you're there. Even when you go to some of these tournaments like Worlds and Pans and ADCC, it's not the same when you watch it. You don't hear the crowd yelling. You don't see you miss out on so much. All the sounds, the noises. So I think it's worth it. If I was in Las Vegas, I would go. I would definitely go. And a lot of you guys are going to be there for Nogi Masters Worlds anyway, so just go. You're going to spend money. Instead of wasting your money at the casino, go to CJI. It's not the same when you're at home, nobody's screaming and yelling, and you can't see all the crazy stuff. It's not the same. I don't know. There's still some time. They got like a month to get people in there. It is expensive. It's expensive to be in Vegas. That is true. But your guy, Craig Jones, is killing himself. You guys owe it to Craig Jones to go and support CJI. If you guys don't support CJI, I don't want to hear any more complaints from anybody else. If you're not donating money to CJI or going to the CJI event, I don't want to hear any complaints about UFC, who's number one, BJJ Stars, Zapatero. I don't want to hear any more complaints. Unless you're putting up some money. I'm putting up some money. I said I'm putting up some money. I said I'm going to put some money up. I'm going to take a screenshot too when I do that. They might make more money online. It's possible. I'm asking all the jiu-jitsu people to open up their wallet. Get your wallet, guys, and open up and give some money to CJI. My man Craig Jones got stage 2 hypertension because of you guys. Someone said, noticed last night that Mika has braces. Just want to comment that braces are absolutely horrible for even a casual long-time grappler. I can't even imagine dealing with them as a world-class professional. Without proper mouth guard that covers both top and bottom teeth, somebody just breathing on you the wrong way will cut up the inside of your lip like you just had a mouthful of broken glass. And that mouth guard that does protect you is so big and bulky that it makes it very difficult to breathe, in my experience. Yeah, you got braces. Someone says, my guess is CJI 2, even with Mika, is going to be quite a bit less exciting. I don't think that's true. The star power isn't the same. The team rule set, I was thinking that before, but I think Craig gonna mix and match those matches. You're gonna have Pato versus Victor Hugo. You're gonna have some matches like why is Gio Martinez fighting Mika Galvao? I think Craig gonna have some crazy matches, bro. You know it. For sure, Craig gonna have some crazy matches, bro. We're aiming for 3 hours today, guys. I'm pushing myself to go to 3 hours. I'm pushing my voice to do 3 hours today. It says inverted gear old school gi review. So is this a new gi? I don't got it. I just got 2. I got like 3 inverted gear gis, I think. I need some more. It says, let's see. It says, hi guys. I recently bought the old school gi from Inverted Gear, and I wanted to do a quick review of my impressions after 2 sessions. The gi is 650 GSM, so it weighs a bit more than the average gi. Some of the guys like the heavy gi. Jason Whitfield says, I will say CJI Day 2 was really good. Day 1 took forever. Craig talked about finding a way to make it shorter. Not sure he succeeded, having 8 teams of 5. So, well, it's not about making it shorter, but it's making it seem like it's shorter, so having more things going on, more events, more interactive stuff, I think there's a way to make it feel like it's short, like not as much time. And that was the first one. So I think the second one should be faster, should be better. He's not only is he working with Flow Grappling, he's got the ADCC, he's cool with ADCC crew now. I think it should go better. Says the fit is similar to a judo gi, at least taking into account the skirt of the jacket with diamond pattern. To serve the purpose of comparison, I made a few picks side to side against Tatami Nova gi. Please note that the price tag reflects the difference, and after 3 years of abuse, the tatami is still serving its purpose. You can see the end details in the inverted gear are nice both at the end of the sleeves and pants, showing the classic panda inverting. Also, the whole gi The whole gi have reinforced seams all over the critical places, making it stronger than the other basic gis. The lapel makes breaking grips a bit easier, so that is also nice. In terms of fitting, the pants are super comfy and fit perfect since unboxing. The jacket is a bit baggier than other models, but it might shrink. It is not going to shrink. Let's just look at the freaking gi, bro. God dog. So this is the old school gi. If you like a heavier gi, this is really good. If you don't like people grabbing your gi, this is a gi for you. But if you're in a, anywhere where the temperature is over 80 degrees, probably don't wear this gi that day. This is good for winter though. Looks good. Good finish. All right, you see how it's more reinforced. I think it's a thicker fabric. Whereas the tatami's got the, less seams, less stitching here. Pant stitch, see reinforced stitching on the pant there. So your pants ain't gonna rip. More loops. You're gonna have more loops for, let me zoom in a little bit. More loops to keep your belt tucked, the little rope tied in. I mean, yeah, it's a different gi. It's it's a heavier weight gi. It's meant for heavy duty. More reinforcement in the pants. It ain't gonna rip like. That is a small panda. That is the old school panda. I believe it's smaller than the other size panda. I love my inverted gear, but my panda be different sizes sometimes. That's a small panda. It's a good gi, man. It's a good gi. I have a lot of friends that wear that gi. And, when I see them put that gi on, I start cringing. I start crying. Because if they cross-face me and they haven't been putting any fabric softener on that gi, it's gonna do some damage. It got that sandpaper feel when you don't put that fabric softener on there. So it says, I have 8 of their gis, the most recent being their unbleached version, which I love so much. I want another. Let's see. Cool gi, but at 650 GSM sounds absolutely miserable to train in. Someone says, coming from judo, I really want one as a nice in-between gi. I bought one of their gis, bamboo blend, cold wash and hang dry. The arm shrunk up to 3/4 sleeves over a few months. Well, bamboo is a natural fabric, so it's gonna have more shrinkage, guys. That's a natural fabric. It's gonna shrink a little bit. There's nothing you can do about the properties of the material. You got the special bamboo, unbleached. That thing it's gonna shrink a little bit. So it says, I can't get behind a brand knowingly putting a gi to market that's useless after 3 months. That's not true. You need to read the instructions. I'm not going to go through that process right now, but you should know that fabric is not like cotton and the other blends. That's more of a natural fabric. Yeah, that's like, yeah, man, you can't complain. That thing going to shrink. That's the vegan gi. That thing going to shrink a little bit. It's going to, there's nothing you can do about that fabric, guys. That fabric going to shrink. He says he hang dried it and washed it cold. It's still going to shrink a little bit. I'm not sure where he put it. Did he put it outside? Was it hang drying outside? The cold wash. I don't know exactly what he did. He might have put that thing in the dryer one time, didn't say nothing. So remember, not everybody's honest about what they did. Someone says, I purchased a new school gi and I really liked it. Had to retire as it's way too big on me now. Planning to purchase a gold weave soon. Everything from inverted gear is solid. Currently using a new school almost every class and am very happy with it. If you want to take the real plunge into a heavy gi, the Panda Armor is great. Good academy as well. Someone says, I have 15 pandas from over the years. Best gis around. I own 2 inverted gear gis that are pretty much the best gis I've ever bought. Unfortunately, it isn't too easy to get the cool ones where I live. Shipping cost is really high. I'm still looking forward to getting a new one. So, every gi, everybody's going to have a complaint about there's no perfect gi out there. I don't care if it's show roll, AP. Whatever gi you have, there's going to be some issues. The fabric, the cut, the fit, the stitching. Nobody's perfect. And, Reddit will find every little detail. So yeah, try out inverted gear. I always push you guys to check it out. Let's watch one match, and I think that'll be it for me today. Let's see. I really want to see some of those BJJ Star matches, but we ain't got. Flow Grappling hasn't updated us. We did watch Adele. Let's watch Roberto versus Ryan Aiken. That's a good match. 2 minutes ago. All right, guys, this will probably be the last video. We going 3 hours. I'm pushing myself, man.
To the center, we are underway and soon ready to go.
Yes.
Here we go. Ryan Aiken versus Roberto Jimenez.
Jimenez needs to get off to the side, I think, and then, of course, watch any sort of flying kind of asamis when he gets someone to the side, if he can do that. This is Aiken's good side, so he likes that. He favors, should say, both sides are good, but he favors that right hip more so than the left side, so you'll see most likely him trying to lean towards that side.
His elevation in butterfly is absolutely excellent. Great leg attacks.
Yeah, he does have it.
Take some positional risks hunting for the leg sometimes. You watch previous matches, but who's number one? It's all about the submission, so it doesn't have to worry about giving up any points. Roberto Jimenez is the kind of guy who will fly for just about anything.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
Jason said, "Good God, Ryan is looking huge." Yeah, I call him Super Ryan, Super Aiken. I know both of these guys, so I remember them being a lot smaller. So I was fighting Roberto at ADCC trials a couple years ago, and then Aiken, we used to train with him at Alliance. These guys used to be a lot smaller, but they've been eating their vitamins.
One leg entry, he's getting on the leg.
Ooh, nice entry there. That was nice by Aiken. Kick under to single leg X.
Some of the biggest guys in the division, Keenan Cornelius.
There it is. It's a one leg entry. He's getting on the leg.
Aiken, Roberto too quick though. I think that's the issue. Me, I'd be going for the arm bars on that right arm. That's what I would be doing. But Aiken can do whatever he wants.
Good combination.
Aiken's doing a good job of staying upright. Being offensive from the butterfly guard. You don't want to let Roberto start jumping around you. Which is crazy because when Roberto fought Mika, Mika was dominating everything.
If he's going to go to either side, he's going to have to just watch that far leg. So if he's one knee in the middle like a knee cut, the other opposite leg, he's got to be careful if the butterfly hook is in.
The only issue with Tim Planet Atlanta is that they only really do the outside heel hook. So they're trying to get to that Ashi, the X guard, single leg X guard. So I mean, once you avoid that, you're kind of good.
Jimenez going to commit his weight at some point, has yet to do it.
Yeah, he just needs to come in.
Kind of had one foot in the whole time.
Yeah, just with underhooks. He comes in. He's come in with underhooks to control the knee line and just keep the legs pummeled. Really.
All right, that's pretty strong right there.
That's what Aiken wants. Loading the weight into the leg lock.
Clear the leg, step backwards. Clear the knee line. There he's cleared the knees. So it should be good.
Nice, that was nice. Let me rewind. So Aiken goes double underhook to Ashi.
Just keep the legs
single leg
pummeled,
X.
really.
Goes for the reap. This is basically Eddie Cummings 101.
This is what Aiken wants. Loading the weight into the leg lock.
Clear the leg, step backwards.
And, Roberto's able to spin out of that. Go for a back take.
This is so dangerous.
Yes, it is.
Amazing back takes. Both fighters showing their offensive talent. Aiken looking for the leg lock, and Jimenez almost stepping through and taking the back.
Cartwheels all the way over. He actually, that was a beautiful pass. He was well timed.
Aiken's already breathing pretty hard, so that's not good. They just started the match. So that's the downside to all that muscle. You gotta feed that muscle oxygen. So
Left leg will have step to the middle. Roberto. And now should stay in.
His pressure.
Should stay in and put his knee on the ground. His right knee on the floor. He's moving to the right side. Yep, beautiful. He's going to step backwards, but he can still step over. Step over, get his head in the middle. Very nice passing sequence.
good guard retention by Aiken. I mean, Roberto.
The deep end of the pool.
Roberto be giving everybody a hard time, except for Mika.
Almost got it.
He basically kind of gassed him. Aiken's good here. He knows how to get out of this, but it's hard dealing with that pacing. So that's why the tactics are so good.
Attacks that lead to the back.
He's
This is
very
all
good
about.
at getting the back. He came around the guard. Aiken had the turtle.
But yeah, that pacing, Roberto.
Judge's favor.
Red, blue. Sorry, blue.
No surprise here.
Yeah, he's looking for an arm isolation there. He's got that.
Aiken should be able to get out of this, but just the
cross
pacing.
right there, across 101. On this control side, he's got to be careful. Yep, you got to keep on there. Get under hooks.
Man, body triangle from a guy with this build is just nightmarish every time.
He's going to try to isolate this, but he's keeping the hip square. So a nice idea when you
Is that
isolate the
Roberto's
arm,
dad?
push
Look at
the
his
hip down
dad.
with that belt line hook. You got to push. It gets it a little high.
He was enjoying Miami a little too
Isolate
much.
the arm and in line with him. If you can bring him down just a little bit, it'll make it so much easier to get the leg over the arm.
So good, Jimenez at not over-committing. Goes back to the body triangle. Tries to isolate the arm, but goes back to the body triangle over and over again.
See if he takes. Trying a little smother.
Also, that's when that size disparity kind of turns into a disadvantage. You can't take a full breath with those legs around you, with the size of Aiken.
He's about to get out. Yeah.
He's starting to get out now.
Oh, that was out. No.
Doing a great job.
He's out, yeah.
Right into a like a Tommy.
Beautiful transition. That's a high mount arm triangle position.
He's out, yeah.
That clinical transition from the back to the top.
We got to watch the Mika match because I want to see what happened, how he got him.
Yeah, the arm's still very high.
He going to get out of this, though.
See if he can pass the arm across the face.
And brutal grip, walking his body up, isolating the right arm of Ryan Aiken.
Yeah, he's out. He's framing the hip. He's going to get out.
He's going to try to smother him, I think. Now he can
Push, Aiken, push.
He
Get out. There you go.
There's the leg attacks that come from the mount of.
Good job by Aiken.
Now he's a little gassed, but, you know, Roberto got to run around you.
It's so fatiguing being in those positions defensively.
Yeah, and it's putting allows a lot of pressure. Passing.
And Aiken having the size advantage in this fight, but Jimenez, no problem, fainting for those double legs.
Yeah, he's very good at like getting little singles and then taking the back off of singles, and so double unders. See if he pushes in and tries to snap him down. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
He's got it.
Aiken's too big. Can't move.
But Jimenez just so comfortable in these weird unorthodox transitions.
Yeah.
It's like he lives in that space.
Oh, shout out to Professor. Professor Leo over there. Shout out to Professor Leo from Miami. Atos Miami over there. Shout out to him.
Now Aiken in a position of kind of having to make up some ground in this match. And has already got the first judge's favor. It wouldn't surprise me if he got the second off that mount attack.
I think this right now is good for Aiken. I think he's recovering. I think he was a little tired. He's recovering now.
Jimenez committing to the takedown.
Yeah, taking a shot there.
Shot off the Russian tie. Just feinting on the legs, you know, to kind of keep Aiken honest and also show the judges I'm the one going for the takedown.
Yeah.
Is that Aiken's dad over there? I think it's his dad.
Underhook on both sides now.
Another guard pull, double underhooks.
It's a pull guard.
Yeah.
Maybe sweep or look for the Ashi. This is all Eddie Cummings stuff.
Pummel. He should put his head over.
Just now noticed all that.
He did a good job of pummeling in right away. His leg into good position off that butterfly guard.
I think he should have been attacking more arm saddle. Blue.
No surprise, Roberto Jimenez right now controlling this match.
Let himself get stacked again.
Look at the pressure. Another back transition.
All right, defend. No.
Yeah, he's got the back again.
Beautiful job from Roberto Jimenez.
We're gonna zoom through this part. I hate watching the people in the back. He did the same escape though.
Much lower.
Up.
You just got to give up mount.
Back into this fight.
Yeah. Here.
Trying to get your energy back, and you can barely
Because
breathe.
the turtle, and he just keeps turning.
Shows you 10th planet
to get to break that
his
lock.
Man back into this fight, but man, Roberto Jimenez just tenacious. Still has a body triangle
Elbow in the
on
hip.
top.
Yeah, he had a
that elbow
there for a second, but now the arm is much lower.
He can just kind of beasting his way out of it.
I wonder why he didn't just say bridge. He said off balance. So, you know, down on the judges card, 2 minutes.
Mount is hard to keep. It's a bigger guy that knows what he's doing. Guy Aiken able to shove him off.
Yeah,
He should have been doing more controlling of the arm, I think.
Position. You've got to really have that arm up in a bad position.
He commits his weight. The pass is there. Wow. Masterful performance so far from Roberto Jimenez.
His leg's so long, can't even get him in there. I don't have that problem.
Minutes left for Ryan Aiken to do something.
This thing.
Roberto Jimenez so far a master's class in applying pressure.
Yeah, just starting to isolate it. I'm trying to think about what he's looking to go on an arm.
I think we need to watch the Mika match because I want to see how Mika was able to control
Use the right knee to stay
differently than Aiken was able to control.
Start to do that. There we go.
Just like that.
Yeah, and
you called it, Sean.
Then you're going for Kimuras or triangles, but I'm thinking he might be a little more reluctant just because of the leg lock danger. that he's not going to want to create much separation. That's why he's using these knees.
You know, the throat sucks as well.
Yeah.
Ryan Aiken in all kinds of misery.
Yeah. See if he can find a strength. I think Roberto may look for a strangle unless time is short. Then maybe he'll drop on an arm.
Also, if you're Ryan Aiken, you don't want to turn and end up in a dark
That's
because
right.
he keeps
He's
thinking about it.
Already been on his
Yep.
back twice. So
I got asked last week by a student. He said, what do I do if I'm on top and my opponent doesn't move? And I said, if he doesn't want to move, you're not hurting him enough. And you see Roberto Jimenez, that knee in the neck, it's making Aiken move. Maybe give up that arm. It's a Carlson Gracie thing. Just hurt them so much that they move at some point. Good job from Aiken. Trying, I was going to say getting to his feet, trying to get back to the, once again, Darce position. He said it might happen a few seconds ago.
gotta get around that arm. That's a nice wide elbow. So Aiken's, yeah, he's not gonna do it. He's gonna have to get that knee around the arm.
Couldn't get it at the end, but Roberto Jimenez all over Ryan Aiken. That's an impressive performance, Sean.
Impressive. Once he figured out that, hey, maybe he grew some confidence, he escaped that first initial heel hook. Maybe that, yeah, you know what, my defense.
That was a good match. Let's watch the Mika match because it's crazy how these matchups work out. You know. I think Roberto does better against the bigger, slower guys, but worse against the flexible, small guys. How tall is Mika? He looks tall. I don't know. Everybody looks tall. And didn't they be short? I know I don't look tall on camera, but let's watch this, guys. This one, guys, and that should be it. 3 hours. Today we hit 3 hours. Maybe in the future we'll be doing 4 hours, 5 hours.
Bom, meus amigos, agora ajeitem-se no sofá, porque o bicho vai pegar nitroglicerina.
So I think Mika pulls guard just like Aiken did, but I wonder what Mika did differently.
Valendo R$100.000, grande final desse GP, primeiro no-gi da história do BJJ Stars.
Aí são dois fios desencapados.
So I believe Mika pulls guard like pretty early on.
Colisão, e agora o negócio vai ficar sério demais.
I'm just trying to see the differences between Mika and Ryan Aiken outside of just size factors. You can say skill too.
Você já colocou hoje, né, Vitor Doria? Até entre aspas, obviamente, irresponsáveis, mas que procuram sempre a finalização, e quem ganha é a gente de poder assistir essa grande luta, Roberto.
It also might be mental, you know. You know, I believe, you know, Roberto probably is a little bit more wary of Mika, whereas Roberto versus Ryan, he probably just going at it, you know. So a lot of that psychological. Again, let's see. Roberto goes in for a shot. Mika's on the head for a little bit. He goes for a shot. Blast double attempt. Mika grabs the head. And he's able to get right on that arm. It's crazy how he grabs that arm. It makes no sense. Look how fast he grabbed his arm. On the right side, left side, sorry. He's got like a mirror lock into an armbar. No. Roberto, good passing, but you know Mika's legs always find a way back inside. And Mika was able to just keep attacking that right arm, our left side. All right, that arm definitely took some damage.
Ele vai aqui, aquele mirror lock, né, que o Frank Mir fazia muito no UFC.
But there was a time I think Roberto kept collar tying with that right arm, and then Mika just latches onto it. So we'll watch his right arm, Roberto's right arm.
Vamos de ousadia e alegria.
É ousadia e alegria, é bem isso aí. Então,
o jogo é solto, né, cara?
Here.
Coisa muito bonita, cara, de ver.
Here, you see? Look.
É ousadia e alegria, é bem isso aí. Então,
o jogo é solto, né, cara?
Here. He kept grabbing and putting that thing in danger. So Mika told him he's going for that arm. He should have realized, okay, let me leave with the other arm. He's posting. I think he grabs the head again. That's when Mika goes for it. Watch, guys. Watch. You're gonna grab for the head again. You're gonna grab for the head again. He shouldn't have been grabbing. Isn't that the #1 lesson in jiu-jitsu? Don't reach your arm out. Is that the #1 rule in jiu-jitsu? Don't you guys remember that rule? Don't extend your arm out. Watch. He's gonna grab for the head again. I think he collar ties. Yeah, he must collar tie. There. All right. Wait. He did it 2 times. Okay, that's the second time. And what you guys think happens on that 3rd time? What do you guys think is gonna happen on that 3rd time? The match is only 3 minutes, so you can kind of guess. You gotta do it one more time. He should have known better. You gotta do it one more time. That's it. There. Maybe he does a 4th time. No. Okay. No. No, he got him. It was 3 times, guys. We counted 3 times. All right. That 3rd time was it. That was it right there. That was it. You see, he's on it. And what makes Mika so dangerous is that he can get his feet in. He got his foot in the armpit. My foot can't even get to that armpit.
Que pressão, hein? Meu Deus. Armlock.
Armlock.
Nossa senhora.
Ah.
Levou o braço ali, hein?
Meu Deus do céu, bicho. Ele não deixou. Não desiste o Robert Jimenez.
That was it, man.
Bateu.
That was
Vai
it.
tomar de novo.
De mais uma. Morta.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you can really teach that, guys. You can't really teach that timing. It was the 3rd time too. Most of you guys would give up the 1st or 2nd time. You wouldn't go for the third time. So that's it, guys. I've been talking for 3 hours, so I'm proud of myself. I'm gonna go celebrate later. All right, guys, we'll be back on Thursday and Friday. Please let other people know about this live stream. That's all I can really ask of you guys. If you want to check out Inverted Gear, check out Inverted Gear. We also have BJJ Mental Models as one of our other sponsors for my main channel. And just let people know about the live stream. That's it, guys. White Belt Wednesday, go help out a white belt. You see their belt. Let me pick you 2 up. Yeah, if you see their belt looking like this, go help them out, guys. Go help them out. Or if you see their pants are on backwards, help them out. Go adopt the white belt today for me. Do it for Ollie, okay? Ollie would like you to do that. Help a white belt out. And that's it, guys. We'll see you tomorrow, bright and early, sometime past 10 o'clock a.m. East Coast time. That's it, guys. I'll see you guys. We're going to play my Inverted Gear video on the way out. And that's it. I'll see you guys. Peace.